What's fucking good, people? How you doing, Chris Gray? What's good, man? Westy, what's good? Can I get a poll? Do we want to see Islam fight Ilya or Justin? Justin Timberlake. Could do that poll. I know you don't mean Justin Gaethje. About 7 headbutts in that co-main. I have not even started watching it yet. I don't watch entire boxing cards. Are you mad? How you doing, Antec? What's good, bro? Happy Sunday to everyone. How you doing, Kerry? Feels like I haven't done this for a while. How you doing, Westy? You don't mean Justin Gaethje, do you? Nobody wants to see that shit. We already saw what Khabib did in that situation. We don't need to see version 2 of that, do we? It's basically a rematch. I think I'll pass on that one. I'm assuming that most of the chat would agree as well. Hit the likes, you freeloaders. I mean, to be fair, we've got 10 likes in here already, and I haven't even started yet. I mean, Gaethje, you cunt. It's not very nice. Is Just Incredible? I like Just Incredible. I love that. One of the greatest wrestling names of all time. No, he's not. No, he's not. That man should be nowhere near getting a title shot. He blew it. I don't care if he sees Max Holloway as an exhibition fight. He should not be in title contention. And we're just giving Makhachev more of a reason to pad his already very padded championship CV. So I'm gonna give a hard pass on that shit. Happy Easter, you absolute degenerate cunts. Completely forgot it was Easter until you mentioned it right there. Frankie, I fucked my back, slipped a disc. Bro, those are the worst. Because I've always said this year, I would rather break a bone than like slip a disc or fuck a muscle up. Because there's no fixing that really. You gotta hope you find some, I don't know, expert in the field to work that out. Whereas if you break a bone, that's gonna heal. Having muscle injuries are the worst, hands down. Dust in the wind. Just keep Justin Gaethje and any of those men away from any titles from now on. I don't want to see that ever again. 420. Call me oh my back Betty. Oh bro, I do feel for you, man. I do feel for you. I hope you managed to sort that out. I've never slipped a disc myself, but I've heard it's horrible. I've had like really bad like knee pain and neck pain and stuff that didn't manage to get rid of for years. And it's horrible. Fortunately, I found some, like when I was living in China, I found this little Chinese dude. He must have been about 4'11". He was a master with heat pads, and he's the only person who's ever managed to heal like any muscle pain that I've had. But yeah, it's the worst to have. The worst. So I feel for you, bro. How did you exactly pull it? I hope you were doing something fun at least, so you can say that it was worth it. I hope you weren't walking down some stairs or something. At least, hopefully, you got like a good story out of it. I've got to say, yeah, I'm really glad we didn't have any UFC this weekend. Obviously, traveling back, last thing I wanted to do was to have like an involved Friday, Saturday night. I've kind of enjoyed chilling with the family a little bit this week, getting reacclimatized back into Western civilization. And it's nice that we have a boxing card on a Sunday as well. Not that I've watched any of it. You were gardening. Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. Good day, Frankie. How you doing, for? What's good, my man? Hope you are doing well, sir. I've shredded my right knee and left ankle, but healed both with ice. Yeah, I'm more of a cold healer than a warm healer. But this little Chinese dude was the man. If I ever get fucking serious muscle injury again, I'm getting on a fucking plane. Or I'll fly his ass over, I'll put him up in a hotel or something. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Cameron is fighting Whittaker in around 20 minutes. I have a feeling Cameron might win. I don't think I'm the only one who feels that way. I like Ben Whittaker as well. I know some people are very much hoping for his downfall. I think he's a nice guy, and I quite enjoy watching him fight. And let's face it, Cameron looks like a meth addict. But he was winning that first fight. And I'm kind of lucky I got away with one in that first fight because I think I had Whittaker in a parlay. And him diving out the fucking ring like that obviously saved my parlay that night. But he did bitch out. Oh, healed. Got it. How you doing, Docs? What's good, man? It's gonna be this kind of evening, is it? Keep me updated though as to when this kicks off. I got my phone on charge. I'm hoping that I can stick the fights on at some or the fight on at some point. Really crazy that this is the main event of a card, but it is what it is. It had to be done. Ben Whittaker is gonna annihilate Liam. On paper, he should. The problem is I don't know if he's got the punching power to deal with him. If he wins, he's gonna have to knock his ass out, I think. Or he's gonna have to fight a much more calculated fight. I hope we just see the Ben Whittaker that we've all grown to either love or hate. The cocky little prick who dances around in there, and I hope we at least get to see that version of him win or lose. Because I think that's where he's at his best. Thoughts on Ahmad Hassanzada getting arrested the week of his fight with Evan Elder because of some serious stuff? By serious stuff, do you mean noncing little children? I assume they've pulled him from the card. I mean, I don't want to. I could be wrong. I'm assuming they have. I mean, at least they didn't find out after. That's all I'm going to say. Did Whittaker lose his fight or was it a no contest? It was a draw because basically he went in against a guy who was supposed to be a journeyman. And then he was doing all right early on. And then he started to really tire out. He realized he was losing. And then he decided to kind of fall over the top rope and fake an injury. It was pretty gross. It was a pretty gross and sneaky way of getting out of that fight. But he pulled it off. And now they obviously have to do the rematch like it actually means something. Let's put it this way, yeah. When the fight first took place, I think in the first fight he was like a minus 1,000. He was a minus 1,000 favorite, and now he's like minus 250. And I'll be honest, yeah, I'm not going anywhere near that. I am not betting on that shit. I'm just gonna watch and enjoy. Ben is 1,000% gonna win. I'm assuming you've laid some cheese on that then, seeing as you're so confident. He did fight like a sped, but the thing is though, Whittaker's kind of known for being very. I think they fast track Whittaker a little bit too fast. There's been a lot of debate about this. Usually in boxing, what they do is when somebody enters the professional ranks, they give them like 15 to 20 fights of fighting cans to build up their confidence, get them going a little bit. Whittaker's basically fighting tough journeymen 10 fights in, and he became a little bit unstuck. No, it's not Robert Whittaker, it's Ben Whittaker. This is a boxing thing. I'm not surprised you don't give a shit. How you doing, Cheddar? What's good, man? Don't know how he can be how you can be confident after the first fight. Ben got battered. He had no pop on his shots. I think he underestimated Cameron a little bit, and I think he gassed out. Ben Whittaker's a very decent boxer. He's got a good amateur pedigree. He's obviously very flashy in there. The issue is that against tough journeymen, I don't know if he's got the power to get people out of there, but if he boxes smart in it, I can see this being a very boring decision where it's like 6 rounds to 4, or it's even 5-5 and they give it to Whittaker because he's the one, you know, who's bankable moving forward. Cameron does seem like a nice dude, and to be fair to him, I don't think he was a level above him. I just think Whittaker completely gassed out. I think he was expecting to just dance around him and beat him up a little bit. Both Cal Baralho and Hamzat Chimaev have verbally agreed an interim fight for 317. Dricus is injured. What? I thought Cal Baralho was fighting Imavov. I think Imavov deserves a title shot more than Cal Baralho. I know Cal Baralho's a fighting nerd and there's all that, but no, Ben fought the opposite of retarded, which is probably why he didn't win. How you doing, Ryan Rossellini, how you doing, bro? Tell some recent Thailand or Philippines stories. You know what? Yeah, I feel like I need for them to come by themselves because, like, what usually happens is I go on holiday, I come back, and then I end up talking about it for like 3 weeks, and then people get fucking bored of it. So I'll wait for an organic moment when a story comes up, and then we'll bring it up. Easy decision win incoming. I think decision is probably if I was gonna bet on anything for this fight, I would bet on a Whittaker decision. And I reckon he probably gets it done like 7 rounds to 3, something like this. The big bad wolf just entered the chat. How you doing, Juice Man? I think I could defeat this streamer mono a mono in a UFC cage using pride rules. Considering that I know nothing about you, I'm gonna assume yes. My professor had a little bit of sarcasm into it. Fair enough. Fair play. I'll take it. I hope Liam wins anyway. Have you bet on Whittaker though? It sounds like you have. Sorry, what stream were we talking about? I assumed you were talking about. I'm not even a streamer. I just turn a camera on when I feel like having a conversation. But I see Ben being way better this time. He better have been taking this seriously because he embarrassed himself last time. The injury is not confirmed. It's rumors at this point, but neither was the bout between Hamza or DDP. They're talking as if the rumors are legit. I'll see where the rumor stemmed from. Um, it would be a shame if we didn't get Hamzat versus DDP. I do feel if it is the case though, it's probably for a legitimate reason. Because DDP ain't no DDP. You can see genuinely wants to fight him. You don't bet anymore. That's a wise. I've taken a back seat on the old betting as well. I do like a 25 pound a week thing maybe, but I don't go hard like I used to, and I'm much better off for it. Gambling is for suckers. No matter what Giuliano tells everyone. Is he talking about gay pride? Not yet. I usually wait for about 40 minutes before I start getting into the gay pride stuff. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on this though. I'm literally going to tune in when they're in the ring. I can't even be bothered to watch the walkouts. Ben Whittaker or Liam from Sheffield. I think Ben Whittaker's gonna look. I think he's gonna look a lot better in this one. He has to. I think DDP is injured for real. What are they saying the injury is? What's the rumor? Gassing out in the 5th round is a bad look, and he wasn't even. It's not like he was dancing around like he usually does as well. It was pretty embarrassing. The thing is, Cameron is legit decent. Like he's not terrible. Oh, not you, Frankie. The guy who wants to fight you. I'm not even sure if he's talking about me, to be honest. You know, I don't really get too wobbled when people call me out for a fight because I'm an adult who has children. The thing you got to worry about me is getting the police called on you and getting dragged into court. You know what I'm saying? I don't fight in the street anymore. I'm too old for that. It should have been Imavov versus Hamza. I completely agree. I know that everyone's all like spiffing themselves on the fighting nerds thing. If you actually look CV for CV, Imavov just beat the shit out of Izzy, and he's had some good wins before that as well. Been a lot more active. It should be Imavov versus, but I guess it's not as sexy. If you're gonna make an interim, I can understand why the UFC's doing it. You get a fighter nerd in there with Hamzat. You know, I can see why they're doing it. Cameron went to a split decision with Lyndon Arthur. Lyndon Arthur was really good back in the day. He's a solid boxer. Whittaker is all flash but no substance. I kind of disagree with that a little bit. I do think Whittaker has some skill. Like he obviously had a very good amateur career. I know he got silver in the Olympics, or world championship level. I'm not sure which one it was. And he's shown some flashes of really good stuff. I find him quite exciting. Like I enjoy him. So I will say that like I'm not entirely. I actually think when you get him, I've seen interviews of him. He seems like a misunderstood dude, and I mean Ben Whittaker. Is this a good fight? It's boxing, mate. It's not really a fight. It's more of a contest. Liam Cameron is making the walk. All right, hang on a sec. Let me see if I can pull this up perfectly legally while we're sat here. In the meantime, I'm gonna let Wayne, how you doing?
Yeah,
How's it going, bro?
yeah. So I was um I was very disappointed to see that there was a boxing card at all, just given the state of boxing. But I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree with Betty. You know, about Whittaker being all flash, no substance. But I mean, I think like so many boxing cards, it's gonna be a decision. Um, I mean, it's probably. I mean, Whittaker could knock him out. I think Whittaker's gonna win. I think he's gonna be a lot more close than a lot of people are thinking, and you know, it's just gonna be another kind of shit boxing fight. Like, you know,
Yeah, Cameron's looking pretty puffy. I'll have to say that worried me a little bit. He's not looking in the best of shape, and Whittaker looks like he's taking this seriously. I'm trying to figure out where it's actually being. Does anyone know where it's being televised?
um, I can find it. I mean,
I probably should have worked this out before I.
yeah,
Oh,
before you
it's on
before
Sky
you
Sports.
titled this a watch along, but
I think it's on
so
Sky. Yeah, sorry, Karen.
so UFC card next weekend. You know, figured
You're gonna get
figured
some
I'd
early picks off.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but I you mentioned Cameron Simon, right? Um, and that fight, I have to agree with you, man.
You
Like,
think Cameron Simon's gonna win?
yeah, I mean, I watched some tape on Malcolm Muhammad. I mean, aside from from the one opponent, you know that I mean his contender series opponent, like I mean, he has, he's never fought in the octagon. There's been way more of these guys than not that, look great on the contender series. They debut in the octagon. And I mean, outside of Kevin Vallejos and, um, what's his name? The African middleweight, um, you got Cody Steele, who, going up against like Rongju and, and that, and it's like, somebody who's, average to even mediocre fighter with octagon experience, just like the transition to the octagon is like, it
I think we're
basically.
gonna. I mean, I agree with you on Cameron Simon. I think he's criminally underrated in this one. I mean, the obviously the loss
It's
to
Talbot, yeah.
Talbot is not looking great in hindsight.
Ooh.
But
To be honest, I mean, I feel like Peyton Talbot. I mean, if you redo the Rayoni Barcelos fight, Talbot strikes more heavily. I mean, he just wasn't prepared to be overwhelmed. You
mm,
know, I mean, and also like honestly, it's like fuck Peyton Talbot. I mean, he's a fucking male stripper. Like, gives a shit. But
so kind.
also, I mean, Cameron Simon's good, man. Like, I mean, he is. He's,
He is, yeah. And he's taking the requisite time off as well, which I quite like.
Sure. I
I
mean,
like that for him.
I don't know, I don't understand, really. It's like I don't see any. I mean, it's like yeah, it's like Wellmaker's got knockout power, so does Simon. I think Simon's faster. I mean, I think he's more tactical. And he's fought. I mean, people. I feel like people don't give enough weight to the fact that like it's a different thing. Your first UFC fight is a different thing. Like, and it's almost like there's tiers of like success or not when it comes to like somebody who just got signed off the Contender Series because like Navajo Sterling, for example, right?
Mhm.
Like now he won his first fight. People were expecting, a spectacular, knockout, like, his Contender Series knockout. Wound up being a 29-28. His next fight, he's gonna look way better, probably. Almost certain. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But like it's rare that you get somebody like Kevin Vallejos. Like, I mean, he might be like the best example of somebody just straight off the Contender Series, and just comes in and like, but yeah, no, I'm gonna say Cameron Simon for sure. Um, Also, you know, Don Castaneda versus Gutierrez. Like, I mean, Castaneda almost beat Daniel Santos. He's a lot faster. I mean, everybody, I'm pretty sure everyone's taking Gutierrez. You know, it almost reminds me of Vucenic versus Chris Dungan.
You feel like it's gonna go the same way as well?
I mean, I don't know if Castaneda is necessarily going to grapple, but I think, he just like, I mean, you watch back like his last few fights, he has a tendency to just overwhelm people. You know, I mean, Santos was losing that fight, you know, until he started, grappling and largely how he kind of Mario Batista him, to be honest. And I mean Santos is undefeated, but he's barely maintained that undefeated record. And they've arguable robbery against Davy Grant. I mean
Yeah.
Cassidy is one of those guys that like he'll hover just outside the rankings for his whole career, like almost like a Rayoni Barcelos. Um, and I mean, Gutierrez was ranked briefly, and like he went the distance with Song Yadong, but you know, I don't know. I just something about it. I see it for Castaneda.
Yeah. I'm fairly more optimistic. I'm surprised you haven't started making a case for Prize, like, right off the bat. I thought that's what you were gonna do.
Oh well, I mean, does
You should
anyone
you
doubt
need to.
process? Oh, I got yeah. I mean, Jesus fuck, man. Like, all right. So look, so Ian Gary, just I mean, it's like it's almost like Vinny, you know, like like when he speaks Portuguese and shit, and it's just awful. Like, he's been grappling for, like actually seriously grappling for like 3 years, right? And and the thing with the fighting nerds, all of them, right? Except for Barallo and then just recently Gene Silva is like people think that or seem to have a notion that that they're not grapplers because they've just come into their respective divisions and just spectacularly knocked people out, right? And the thing is, like they've been grappling their entire lives. You know, like I mean, there's no. I mean, the idea that Ian Gary it's like, oh, if Gary gets him to the ground, if Gary gets him to the ground, he's gonna fucking Gary's in trouble. On the feet, Gary's outmatched. Carlos Prates is a fucking like he. Carlos Prates is, yeah, I mean, he's just he's dead in his fucking eyes, scanning for his opening. He finds it. Like he's such deceptive power, dude. Like, I mean, do you remember his debut against what is his name? He wound up they wound up losing to Mike Malott in the fight after. What is his name? Black dude. His name starts with a T.
Magnus. Oh, T begins with a
Was
T.
it Trevin Giles? Trevin
Oh
Giles.
yeah, Trevin Giles.
Yeah, yeah. The whole first round of that fight, Carlos Prates, lost technically, right? Because Trevin Giles is like hitting him with fucking, basically like harmless shots and like outstruck him. And I'm thinking, I'm watching this fight and I'm like, what the fuck is Prates doing? And then, a little bit into the second round, Prates just flatline KOs him with fucking left straight. And, and then his next fight, it's just, he's, he just doesn't like. I mean, Gary just doesn't have a chance, bro. Like,
Wait, sorry. Gary doesn't have a chance.
no, against Carlos Prates, no.
You are fucking insane, mate. I don't know where you get. I don't know where you get all this over excitement on Prates. I know he's a fighter nerd and all of that, but
Dude, I
he
mean
hasn't
that
really beaten
the
anyone.
only I'm not like,
I know Gary is soy and fucking annoying, but
no. This has nothing to do with what's going on in Gary's bedroom right now, where Prates is dogging Layla out, and he's gonna light up a red
I mean,
later.
that has nothing to do with how the scorecards are going to turn out. I mean, if it was judged on
Dude,
how much of a cuck you are, then that's a different conversation.
no, I look, man, like I mean
How you
I said this going into going into 314 when everybody was just I mean it's like people put emotions into their picks. Like, I mean, you saw that shit with Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. Bryce Mitchell didn't have a chance. Like, it was never gonna happen. Like, there was no way that Bryce Mitchell was gonna win that fight. Like,
I'll be. Do you know what? While we've got this going, yeah, because I think this makes a very decent poll. By the way, Whittaker started off pretty well in this fight. He looks like he's maintaining the distance well. I'm going to put a poll up about this because I'm quite curious to see what the general public are thinking. And because we all know the general public are hanging around in here. Hang on a second.
But I just for the fuck of it, right? On my community tab on my channel, I put up like a poll a couple of days ago. It's like 200 people voted. It's it's process, But so Grimey's saying that Gary wins a decision. Unfortunately, the problem with that is that like Gary, it's like try to see this fight in your head, right? I mean, remember when Gary fought, Jeff Neal, right? I mean, his striking, is very one dimensional if you actually, watch back his fights, and it's like, and he can grapple, but he's not. Carl Sprouse is an MVP who's going to be scared for his life on the ground. So in fact, quite the opposite. Like Gary, if the fight goes to the ground, Gary's going to be very surprised. I think, but
I don't know.
what do you see, Frankie? Let me ask you a question. Like, run me through like how you see for Gary, right? Run me through how that happens. What does Gary have for Prates?
I think he keeps a safe distance for the first round, and then Prates with his chain smoking, his chain smoking ways kills over and
Bro.
by himself in round 2.
I agree. I agree with Frankie. I feel like Ian Gary will play it safe. And don't forget, he's got the five rounder in the bag, so we know he's got cardio. He can go 5 rounds. Mm-hmm. If he avoids round 1, 2, I think he has the fight.
I mean, you act like that. I mean, you act like Carlos Prates is going to allow that to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
I get that Prates has looked really good in some of his fights so far, but who's he really fought? I don't know.
Who's he? Tell me. Okay, so I mean, outside of I mean, first of all, Shav, like, you can't. You have to understand. Like, if you're gonna bring up the Shavkat fight, which is really Gary's. I mean, his performance against Jeff Neal was right on the line. I'm not gonna call that a robbery, but he barely beat Jeff Neal, and that would be his best victory. Okay. He fought Neil Magny. He couldn't
Whittaker's
finish
taking over
him.
the fight here. He might get a stoppage.
What?
Whittaker's taken over, yeah?
Yeah, he stopped it. He's won.
You're kidding me.
I told you he was gonna win.
I'm like 150. I'm 150 into round 2, so I'm assuming this is gonna happen real soon.
Oh shit!
Oh wow, he won that fast. I thought it was gonna be a decision. I knew Whittaker was gonna win, but
Thing is, Whittaker,
it didn't feel like a stoppage, but Cameron was just covering up and not throwing anything. He just went to the corner.
How are you so ahead of me? Did this happen at the end of round 2 then?
Yeah.
Oh, he caught him there. Yeah, he wobbled him. Whittaker's looked good, to be fair. Like, I mean, I know it's a very short sample size, but he is tooling up on him here. Yeah,
you say second round?
It's a bit of an early stoppage.
It was an early stoppage. He should have took a knee or something. But tis what it is.
Whittaker's decent, man. Whittaker's very decent. I'm glad that he won because I actually enjoy him. I feel like boxing needs guys like that, but that was a terrible stoppage.
It was.
Oh, Liam Cameron's pissed.
All right.
Naturally.
We get on boxing. We get on boxing now. Just Whittaker won, just like the crazy.
Oh, here
fucking
we go. Fucking Giuliano. Make it about me. Fucking yapping easy.
I'm trying to make it about you.
Back to Giuliano. Come back to me.
No, brutally. Keep going on, Whittaker. Keep going. You got more?
Shut up, Frankie. Shut up about the boxing. Come back and talk to me.
No, I don't. The floor is yours, brutally. Keep going on about Whittaker. What else you got? Let's hear about. Come on, let's make boxing, dude. Let's go.
Oh, you've interrupted it now, haven't you? You've ruined it.
Oh,
no, I was just saying.
It's okay.
He obviously isn't fighting he needed this though, and I think like we've spoken about boxing in terms like this before, where like there is like a lack of personalities in there, people that go in there and put on really exciting fights. I think it's good for boxing that this guy's won. That's all I was going to say. Really, I didn't really have much to add to that.
Really, you got anything else?
No, I agree with Frankie. No. Go on, back to you, Giuliano. Look at the.
I didn't want to. Yeah. I mean, no. I mean,
look at how happy he is now. The boxing talk's over.
And it was. It was a terrible.
Don't get me. Yo, really, don't. Dude, I mean, I love fucking boxing, like old, but like, I mean, dude, boxing is shit now, man. Like, I mean, is that news? Like, come on.
Is it shit, or is it just lacking characters, like Frankie says?
I mean, those two things necessarily exclusive? Like,
speaking about that, what do you think about Dana White's promotion? Do you think that'll bring characters? Do you think they'll be able to market any characters towards, their boxing promotion? Do you think that'll be a success, or do you think it's just another?
I'm thinking they're hoping that if they use the same formula as they have for the UFC, but just apply it to boxing, that it's gonna have the same effect.
It seems like they're spreading themselves too thin to me, but I mean,
Do you think they'll be able to find characters? I mean, are they going to be looking at finding characters or putting on good fights? What route are they going to take? Are they going look for the best boxers, or are they going to look for the characters to start the sport? Or start.
I mean, they're gonna have to have names to start the sport, but I mean, or to start the promotion rather. But like,
I don't think they'll get names. I don't think they'll get any names. I think it'll be like fucking. We won't know any of these boxers.
Given how much they're paying, they're definitely not going to be bringing established guys in.
No, yeah, and I mean, I just don't think. I mean, I just don't think they're gonna be able to generate enough interest in it. Like. Yeah, it doesn't strike me. It's like who's asking for that,
I have to agree with Betty a little bit. I think boxing's had a little bit more of a resurgence with like the Saudis being involved and there being cards that are actually of note these days. If anything, I think the UFC has been a really big disappointment this year.
That's definitely a little bit true, but like, I mean, think about, Usyk, Fury, like those fights. I mean, you compare those heavyweight fights to even like, back when, even like, I mean, dude, fucking obviously, it's never gonna be, you're never gonna have another like Rumble in the Jungle. You're never gonna have another Tyson versus Trevor Berbick. You're not, like, I mean, how far back do you want to go? Like, you ever in the mood for like a really good like old fucking boxing fight that has like rewatchability? Sonny Liston versus Floyd Patterson, both fights, where Sonny Liston just like tears through this dude, wins the fucking heavyweight championship, immediate rematch, fucking does it even faster the second time. Like, I mean, yeah, was there any doubt that he threw both fights to Ali? Like, I mean, I love boxing, but it's just not, what
Yeah, no,
what it
I
was.
disagree. I disagree. Last year, boxing put on one of the best cards of the year with that 5 versus 5.
Oh, that was sensational. That was
Yeah,
the best card of the year.
don't get me wrong, dude. Like that,
And
that was a great card.
when boxing get it right, they really fucking get it right as well.
Yeah, no,
And
I agree
look
with
at
that,
Gibson.
and I think that honestly, like, I mean, dude, like, I mean, I think Terrence Crawford is like, I mean, there's still like boxers that are, I mean, Terrence Crawford would probably be my favorite boxer. And I think PFL, I mean, the Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou, fight, like, that was, I mean, that was bad. I mean, that was better than fucking Ngannou versus Fury, but you know, but it's like, what I'm saying is like they're few and far between, and like, people are, yeah, what's better? Me and Pies beginning watch one or two boxing fights in the evening, but sounds better than saying. I mean,
I have
sure,
to
but
agree.
like, right. Yeah, okay, but I mean, at the same time, like, your average boxing card versus your average, just even not even just UFC, like, I mean, fucking
I mean,
Cage
boxing
Fury.
cards suck. You'd be very hard pressed. I mean, outside of the Queensberry versus Matchroom card that was sensational,
Yeah.
it's very, very hard to name a boxing card that
Yeah,
has been good.
right,
The
exactly,
thing
and
is,
like, I mean,
if we're being truthful though, how many full boxing cards do you watch? Because I
I
barely watch
agree with
any
that as
boxing
well.
cards. I'll stay up. I'll watch some. If there's a boxing fight on, I'll watch some other shit before it, and I'll wait up for the main fight. And I don't watch the undercard.
No, I
So
think
exactly.
I wouldn't have a
I might
fucking
watch
clue.
the
But
co-main,
that doesn't mean
maybe,
it's not it's shit. It just means they don't market the undercards.
which is a big
Yeah,
problem.
but
Yeah,
isn't that
that's the problem. I think the
it?
stories.
Sure. I mean, but is it a lack of marketing, or is it just that like there just aren't, like it's just not, it's just not good enough? Like, I mean, like
I don't think it's not good enough because every
I
now and
think it's
again
the
I'll
marketing.
catch an undercard fight and there'll be like a
An absolute
bomb being
war. Yeah.
absolute war going on, and you wouldn't even know. They don't talk about it. They don't market it. They don't.
right,
It never get.
right.
Because you got a lot of old fucking donkeys running boxing still, where there's like a lot of them are just
That's
you got
Dude,
70-year-old
okay, so this is
promoters
one
that don't
thing. So like
understand shit like that.
JD is saying that we had one good UFC this year. That's absolute nonsense. If UFC cards, it's like if you took away every other UFC card, what's your next choice to watch an MMA promotion? It's like it's annoying
Formula
when
One,
people.
mate. Formula
What?
One, mate. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't watch
Frankie.
Formula One either, but you know what I'm saying. There's alternatives
Yeah,
out there.
I mean, bro, it's like, I mean, it's like people bitch and bitch and bitch about UFC card, and it's like, yeah, sure. I mean, there's been,
Do you know why we bitch about it? Do you know why? Because they're taking away everything that was really good about it. It's like when you get these really, it's like look across the whole board. Yeah, Tough is awful now.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
press
yeah,
conferences
that's.
that have
I mean, it's always been
you
the
get these
weakest
muted
of
press
the.
conferences that have like 30 minutes long. They've got generic questions going on, and when things finally start getting interesting, they cut. It's like everything that's good about it.
Well, I
They
mean,
take
there
it
was,
away.
it's like there's, like the Marab Umar press conference, like, it's, I mean, think about that compared to like the fucking Tyson, Jake Paul, fucking, work, bullshit. Like, it's.
I mean, that doesn't qualify as a combat.
No, sure. I mean, I guess.
When did TKO
Devin
take over?
Haney versus Ryan Garcia, that was a good press. Those press conferences got heated, and that shit was good. I'll get
I think it was 6 months ago, brutally, which does kind of coincide with when things started to go downhill a little bit.
2023, the bought UFC and WWE, and if you think about it, that's when everything is just. It's changing, like you say, the press conferences. Like, there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of backroom talks about these press conferences, and they don't want them to be too wild and too inappropriate. And
I mean that, yeah. I mean, I get it. The sense of that. James was saying that I never, that I refuse to admit that UFC is not as good as it used to be. The thing about that statement, though, is like. You know what I don't know.
It's become corporate. That's why it's become.
Well, I mean, it was but it was always corporate. It was always.
No,
corporate.
It was never. It was never corporate. It was not corporate.
It was counterculture, if anything. It was very like
exactly.
It was for
look. I mean,
the boys.
All right. So, but like, okay, so like, I'm not saying like the criticisms you're making aren't valid, but like when you say not as good as it used to be, it's like that's a very sweeping statement. I mean, you have fighters now that are I mean how good I mean Good Noodle's whole argument about how like Anderson Silva wouldn't have a chance against the middleweights today. I don't agree with that.
One of the dumbest things I've ever heard, but carry on.
But yeah, no, dude, you remember I was on panel and I was like, Noodle, you have no idea, like but.
No, but I love Noodle for stuff like that because again, it's
no, I know, but there is some, but like I mean, and he's fucking absolutely wrong about Anderson Silva in particular, but by and large, the caliber of fighters that you're getting like now, and the quality of fights, I mean, it's like, are you really gonna fucking? It's going. I mean,
it is a real.
When you say it's been, you say hold on, Betty's saying it's been going downhill, but like, I mean, yeah, like I don't know what I mean. You've had title fights that have been, fucking incredible, honestly. Like, I mean, Merab versus Umar, Volkanovski versus Lopez was great, but like Topuria versus Holloway, like I mean, there's. I mean, you guys tell me I mean, you guys tell me these are like, it's not. These aren't good fucking fights. There's been like 314 had, a couple of insane fights.
What my question to you, Gilly, is there maybe the quality's not changed, but is there a lack of fan favorites? Is there a lack of English speaking fighters in the UFC? Like, we've got a shitload of Russians that never used to be in the UFC. We had so many fan favorites back in the day that weren't champions, weren't elite level, but you fucking look at Dan Hardy, for example. I hate the guy, but he has a massive fan base.
I mean,
Miller.
I mean, Alex
fighter, but he had a massive fan base.
I mean, Alex Pereira
never won a championship.
Okay, to answer your question, dude. Like, Alex Pereira refused to learn English, and he had so much fandom around him.
He is a fucking exception, and it. He's a
fucking exception. Yeah, I mean, he's a vast exception in that, like, he never learned English. But I mean, bro, you got somebody like Merab who for the longest time was called like boring, like, didn't get finishes. And then, because of like his social media and his personality and his charisma and everything, and the way that he's carrying Henry Cejudo like a fucking potato sack, and he's tussling O'Malley's hair, everything like that, he's become a fan favorite.
But he's a fucking champion. I'm talking about like
but like
Jim Millers. Where's the Jim Millers of today? Where's the Diaz's of today? Where's the fucking Mayhem Millers, the Dan Hardys?
I think personality wise, I mean, dude, something really interesting happened. There was like a changing of the guards, I feel like, where somebody like Colby Covington, who really did just put on like a heel type of act, like, Sean Strickland came along, and like, Sean Strickland just really is like that, right? And like, people picked up on a certain authenticity there, whether you fucking like Sean Strickland or not, right? and somebody like Colby Covington just became completely irrelevant and exposed in a way, and so I mean, there's some of that. I mean, I think that you have a problem where John Jones has become, basically like a hated personality and that's your heavyweight champion. That I feel like that's a problem. But then you have Aspinall, who's a huge fucking fan favorite, right? Like, I mean,
what you're talking about is champions and the elite. I'm talking about the fighters that.
Well, okay,
are
so
not
all right,
elite,
so I'll give you. All right,
like,
how about for example,
we used to have people on the prelims that were
okay,
fan
all right,
favorites.
great. I'll give you an example. How about Joaquin Buckley on his way up? Joaquin Buckley's got a huge fucking fan base. He's charismatic. He's grabbing the microphone, fucking yelling for dead. Max Holloway would be another one. Talking about people like who like like a crowd, you get a crowd excited behind them and shit. Like, I mean, yeah, man. Even O'Malley had his fucking period with that shit. Like, I mean, they're still of course they're still there. I did not compare. Who the fuck compared Kevin Holland to Jim Miller? Yeah, that I mean, I don't agree with that, but fucking and also, like, I mean, Charles Oliveira would be another one. I mean, there's plenty of people that like, on the way up.
There's another one. I was a fucking character. Apart from being the fucking poster boy for fucking females who want shag him, he's got no personality. Yeah, and when you look at the subtitles, every time he's on fucking Embedded, the shit he says is so fucking gay. I can't stand it. He is so fucking gay.
Yeah, but like how dude, how great was the fucking...
The beautiful. Oh,
no,
you're
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
This is
I know,
sweet.
but like
the day is so sweet and sweet. He's fucking gay, man. Like, read
dude,
the subtitles.
I'm not saying Charles Oliveira is like... No, but like, how great was the fucking press conference with him and Islam going into that title shot?
He's more zesty than Peyton Talbot.
Who, Oliveira?
I mean, dude, I don't think there's a person in America that would agree with that. But but regardless, like that's what I'm talking about. Though, when it comes
subtitles.
Okay, my point though is like Charles Oliveira and Islam, right? In the press conference leading up to their fight, where Islam's telling him like no one can fucking understand you, like learn how to speak English. Like, I mean, I mean the shit's still there. It's just that like
yeah, but I don't like either of the fight. I think what.
I mean, you like Dan Hardy because he's fucking British, bro.
No, I hate Dan Hardy. Me and Dan Hardy always I like give each other shit on
You've
Twitter.
had run-ins in the past.
He's a fucking twat. Anyway,
yeah, he's doing PFL commentary, bro. Like,
no, he's going to be in the future. Something weird's going to come out about that guy, guarantee it.
Yeah, he wears purple tinted sunglasses inside.
For me, as an MMA fan, there just feels like a lack of fighters that I can really get behind. A lack of.
You can't get behind Tom Aspinall.
I can get behind.
You can't get behind Aspinall.
No, I can get behind. I said a lack of. Like, I'm getting behind like the British fighters, of course, but even some of the British fighters, they shit and they boring. Leroy Murphy, so boring. Fucking Leon Edwards.
What about
Paddy Pimblett?
I mean, dude, Leon Edwards is a fucking complete like empty vessel, bro. That was exposed, twice over. But I mean, how about somebody on the rise, somebody like an Oban Elliott or
Oban's all right.
I mean, I think and it's like you say he's all right, but like it's only like I mean, he had a really good finish in his last fight, right? His next fight, like you're gonna want to watch, right? And his next fight might, or another example would be like Brian Battle. Like it's like
Brian. This is what I mean. The people like Brian
Battle's like the new fucking Nate Diaz, bro.
The rare though. The Brian Battles are rare where the genuine. Who they are, they're a bit quirky, they're a bit out there, and they say mad shit, and they go in the cage and they just fucking light rip.
I mean, these guys are still there, man.
There's a lack of genuine
I mean, what about like Themba Gorimbo when he won that fight? You know, the fight before he lost to Luque, and he's screaming like he just fucking lost, and like you don't know what the fuck he's even talking about, and you find out that like his son died or some shit, and can't like I mean, you know, yet I mean, there's a lot of instability and crazy fucks like that are still around. I mean, you know, and when I say still around, it's like I mean that still work their way up. I mean, dude, Johnny Walker's a fucking weird fuck that, like, you know. I mean, I'm rattling off name after name, and you're like, oh, these are rare exceptions, but it's like,
no, I mean, one's a rare exception. I said off the ones that you've named just don't count.
I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think like who else? Like, I mean, JDM is another one. You know, I mean, that you know, and a lot of fighters too. It's like there's an arc of like, you know, where basically it's like people hate them for the longest time and then become fans of theirs. Like Bilal would be one of the best examples of that. You know, like you know,
are you fucking joking?
No,
are you fucking joking? Bilal, are you a fan of Bilal?
Dude.
Oh like, yeah, I mean, he is. Oh,
really,
yeah,
really,
he paused. Yeah,
really, he fucked your boy up, dude.
Palestinian.
He dunked Leon Edwards. As soon as he dunked Leon Edwards on his head, bro, I was a fan of Bilal, bro.
Waving the fucking Palestinian flag, weren't you?
I don't give a fuck about that. First of all, the guy's born and raised in Chicago, so like, fucking fuck off with him being a Muslim, like from the Arab world. Dude's from O Block.
Well, that's why he is. That's why he is. That's why he does. He goes on Palestinian marches, don't he?
I mean, I can give a fuck.
He's about as American. He's about as American as you are, you fucking immigrant.
No, that's what I just said. That's what I just fucking said. He's from O Block in Chicago, bro. He's fucking, basically. He's not actually from O Block. I just fucking said that, but he's from Chicago.
We can understand why Bilal is like inherently unlikable. I mean, we can all agree on that as a person, but as a fighter, he's a very good fighter.
I think that like you need anti-hero.
He has a very effective style. We can put it that way.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like what I'm saying with Bilal, by bringing up Bilal, like see, like somebody like Tom Aspinall is somebody where it's like everybody that's the guy where it's like it's like Tom Aspinall is like a fucking this force of good against John Jones, whereas and then you got people like Bilal who's like an anti-hero, that everyone's hoping to hoping JDM beats, right? They had shitty champs combined with lack of upcomings. That's such bullshit though. A lack of upcoming exciting prospects. I just named just in welterweight. I just named Joaquin Buckley. Fucking
that's the one
lightweight. Yoel Alvarez. Fucking Mauricio Huffy. Like I don't know what like. It's just like people just bitch, and like these same people would be bitching back in the day, back in the supposed heyday too.
I never fucking bitched back in the day. That is false. I never fucking bitched back in the day.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, what? Okay, so like, let's talk about Saturday, this upcoming Saturday's card.
I get what you mean. These narratives like the anti-hero Balal, but Balal's a shit anti-hero. No one really cares about Balal. They didn't care about him for such a long time.
Yeah, but no, what they care about is JDM beating him. Yeah, I mean, what they care about is like they want to see JDM take the belt off of Bilal. So it's like the more
exciting still. I still couldn't give a fuck.
I don't think it's the fighters that are the problem. I think it's the personalities that are the problem. I think that's more the issue that we've got. I don't think we've got a lack of skilled MMA fighters these days. I think that the way that the UFC is matchmaking, and maybe just the fact that the product is a little bit oversaturated as well. We're getting way too many cards that are kind of watered down. We're not getting the matchups that we're asking for. We're not getting the promotions to get because we're not getting matchups that generate excitement. It's all generic, cookie cutter friendly questions that are garnered.
I mean that I agree with that.
That's more the issue. I don't think the talent is necessarily the issue. I think it's the way that the UFC is now less star driven and more about we are the stars and the UFC is. And they're promoting
that's the result of the McGregor era. The McGregor era fucked it.
Yeah. I
They
definitely
don't
I
want
see
some out
that.
of control monster either. Like they want somebody that can they want to have like a bank of marketable people that they've got control over that they can dictate this is what you're going to do and when. And they don't want these out of control people like John Jones and Conor McGregor in the past that can call more of the shots. So they're trying to move away from
they
that.
don't. Instead, look at what they did to Francis when Francis was trying to make more money. They turned around and they said,
that's very true.
Off you
That's
fucking go," because they don't want that. They don't,
made an
and
example.
that was an example. Exactly, that was the example.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, I think so. I was talking to Dougie from Dougie's Corner, right? The other day, and he was talking about he had an argument about fighter pay, that where basically it's if you're if they're essentially incentivizing fighters to fight more often, right? You give them like a livable wage, their food, training, and all that is on the UFC, right? As far as like UFC PI and everything, and and then and I was saying that coupled with performance bonuses, that maybe, issue a few more, rather than like 2 performance of the night bonuses on a 13 fight card, maybe have 4 or 5, incentivize fighters to, because the thing is people, the whole argument for like, okay, let's have less fight nights, right? And more, it's like you have a roster that's so huge that like if you did that, you'd have fighters that would, they'd be past their prime before they even fought like 3 or 4 times a lot of the times. So, something like that doesn't necessarily seem feasible. I think, I think what you do, I mean, because you're talking about 2 different things, man. You're talking about, like pomp and circumstance and fucking like press conferences that are gonna hype you up and all that shit. But like, and then, but then the other argument is like against fucking, like fights like Batista Aldo and like, how Torres Finney fought, just fought like, cage grabbing and shit like that. So, I mean, and I think that's more important. Like, I think a point should be taken automatically for cage grabbing. I think, fighters should be incentivized.
Refereeing needs to change and judging needs to change. We all know that. Referees need to grow a pair of balls and separate more often. They'll wait an entire 4 minutes before separating. They'll separate it. They'll go straight back to the same position, and then they don't separate it. Why aren't they just straight on it? Like, I'll give them a warning.
But then you have and then you have weird cases though too, like Cesar Almeida versus Ihor Peteira, where the fucking refs separated them 9 times, like for no. It's like, so I mean, you have
very inconsistent.
Yeah, it's very and I think also
and
too
it's inconsistent in cards as well. So you'll get like fighters getting broken up at the beginning of a card.
No, 100%.
Fucking hump each other's legs for 25 minutes.
The other thing I think too is like, and I mean, I explained this to Bodak about how in the United States, it's very the bureaucratic shit behind, trying to, I brought up the example of how like in Australia, where they don't have a gaming commission that hires the judges independent of the promotion, right? That one judge that gave 3 rounds to Tuivasa against Rosenstrike got fired on the spot. For fucking, just clear bias or incompetence. Either way, just as bad, right? You can't do that as easily here. So what do you do instead, right? You incentivize fighters to not do things like point fight or hold their opponent against the cage. You take points away automatically for cage grabbing. Things like that. I mean, that would have a huge effect. Have a very large sweeping effect, I think. I mean, and like, because I mean, at the end of the day, bro, it's about the quality of the fucking fights. To me, it is more than like, it's like, do I really need to fucking, have like, this or that fighter be my fucking hero and identify with them and have like some narrative behind, everything, or like, would I rather watch a fucking, an MMA card that's like of the highest quality, where it's like you got 2 guys that are trying to
but UFC at peak is both. That UFC at peak is fucking both, Gilly. I'd prefer, like, yeah, if one or the other, the fights. But UFC at peak is when you've got both. When you've got characters, when you've got good press conferences, when they aren't in fucking Spanish all the time. Like, off the fucking press conferences now are in fucking Spanish, and no one at the UFC is saying, shut the fuck up and speak English. Like, you speak fucking English.
That's why I brought up. That's why I brought up Oliveira Islam.
Don't translate that shit. When they're going back and forth in these heated arguments, we don't get translation. We don't get subtitles. We don't get any translation for it because it's too heated in the moment to translate. So no one's telling them. And we just sat there like plums for 10 minutes watching them going back and forward.
I agree. I agree with that. And I mean, honestly though, bro, like what I think about that is that, like, I mean, I really don't see the need for the fucking press conferences to be the events that they are, because they never live up to, you know, to really anything except once in a while. Like Merab and Umar going at each other's, you know, maybe the most recent time there was like anything noteworthy in a press conference. You know, like I don't, you know, I don't have, I really don't.
The problem with the press conferences here is that they're contriving it this way. It's not because we don't have wacky personalities that could go off and make it enjoyable. It's they're deliberately designing them so that they're 30 minutes long. They bring certain media members in that they're feeding certain questions to. So they're designing it in this way to be very generic, very
one of my favorite Nick Diaz.
I'm not sure if it's my connection or if it's yours.
Yeah,
you gotta say that again.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. So this is an interview with Nick Diaz. I'm sure some people like know what I'm talking about. Where the interviewer asked him, like, so are you excited for this new fight? And Nick Diaz was like, I don't know what the fuck that means. Excited. Like, and Nick Diaz is just like being like as fucking real and just like broken of a human being as he is. Like, you know, like, I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, excited. Like, am I excited? Like, you know, like shit like that where, you know, and they kind of did that. See, it's like, the media shit is tricky, bro, because it's like, you remember when Joe Piper fought Hermanson, and they did all this press with like Joe Piper's like fucking whole rags to riches story, you know, with his dad putting cigarettes out on his neck, and like, you know, the whole lead up to it. And like, you know, like, I mean, you know, he basically, I mean, he didn't make excuses for losing too much, but like he did bring out, he's like, yeah, like the constant press fucked me over a little bit. Like, you know, it's just like, I don't see the need for the press conferences to be these like events, because they just never live up to this shit.
I don't even watch them anymore. Just want to answer Jiggy. Don't get him started on Nina fucking drama again, because he'll go off on a fucking 5-hour rant about how she's his
I'm not gonna go on a 5-hour rant, bro. It's like
sister, how he used to shag his sister.
All right. Chill.
How he knows the boyfriend. He's known 15 years.
No, I mean, dude, I don't like. Yeah, but she doesn't need me to defend her. It's like the only. I mean, you know, people want to.
Yeah, the other day on stream, you're a proper fucking white knight for her.
No, I wasn't. I just said you were like
white knight.
I know
you were white knighting it more than good noodle white knights you.
So okay, so when I told you that Nina, like in actuality, Nina, so like Musical's video on the like that Maneater video. Like Nina thinks that shit's hilarious. Like, I mean, you know, she's not somebody who really needs me to white knight for her, bro. Like, I mean,
you went on
the only thing I said is like when she gets called an industry plant, by definition, what an industry plant that's not.
She is.
No, she's not, bro.
Which she is.
She isn't. No, an industry plant implies. Oh my god, you don't know shit, dude. Like,
I do know shit.
Dude, I know the reality of what actually happened.
I know who she is, man.
No, dude, like, I mean, you're wrong.
Here we go, Gilly and his white knight. Just because you won't get your dick wet.
Really, you literally go.
You're not getting in
you
the
literally
pants.
just,
you're not getting in the
got me. You go, don't get me started. You go, don't get me started, and then get me started.
It's not red panty night for you, my friend.
Really?
You missed.
You don't know shit.
You missed your chance.
Brutally, you just exactly.
Did you shag her sister? Did you shag her sister? Did you shag her sister?
No comment. and fucking Antec's right. Brutally goes, don't mention Nina. So the fucking dude, like, what are you doing, bro? Like,
what do you think I'm doing? What do you think I'm
doing?
exactly what I'm fucking doing.
Yeah, no, sure. And like, I mean, dude, I'll let you bait me into the shit, bro. But at the end of the day, if you want to talk about Nina for a half an hour, like, I mean, it's on you.
No,
anyway,
I'm just making the chat aware that you spoke on her for 5 hours the other day on stream.
5 hours?
Yeah, it was 5 hours.
I mean, that's to be fair, that's light work. That's light work for you, though, Gilly. 5 hours.
Yeah, yo, brutally. Why don't you be grateful that I made you $83 on a parlay and I'm so grateful. Or whack it up for me.
Giuliano.
Or how about when I stunned you in chess while that parlay was hitting? I fucking checkmated you in 3 minutes.
I was having a shit. I was just tapping the screen. It was just a very casual. You're moaning for Bodak to play you, and I thought, okay, I'll jump on.
I wasn't moaning for him to play me.
No, music. Up. He wouldn't play the rematch. He was just like,
rematch?
Fuck you. I've got one over.
Bro, oh my god, you brutally. You didn't challenge me to a rematch. Brutally. You fear me. Brutally, you fear me. You fear me in chess, brutally.
I don't.
You didn't offer me a rematch. You didn't offer me. You didn't challenge me a rematch.
I don't give a fuck about chess anyway. I don't really give a fuck about chess.
I mean, I don't give a fuck about chess either. But like, I did beat your ass though.
Clearly enough,
I beat your ass. No. I'm just saying.
I beat. But no. You're the best at everything. You're the best at chess. You're the best at gambling. You're the best at fucking watching MMA. You're the best on fucking stream. There's nothing that Giuliano's not good at.
Well, I mean,
Is your big fat fucking ego?
It's not an ego. It's just I'm just stating facts. I beat your ass at chess. Like,
oh,
easily.
Great. Yeah, great.
Well, I made you money on a parlay.
Next fact.
I mean those happen. Like, I mean, it's just like it's like gravity, bro. It's like, I mean, it just is what it is. Like, I'm not, it's not an ego thing. It just happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, great. Just happened to bring that up. I mean, it's okay because you did lose the quiz, remember?
No, I did. Exactly.
How's the Tash coming along, Gilly?
Oh, I don't know, man. Something weird's going on. It's almost like I got laser hair. It's almost like I got laser hair removal. It just won't grow out, man. I don't know what's going on, man.
I mean, it's not my fault that you're beta male. You can't grow a fucking tash.
Bro, look here, check it out.
Maybe get some.
Look at that. That's my. Look at that. That's my dad. Yeah, that's my dad, bro. That's my fucking genetics, bro. So, like, I mean,
trust me, receding hairline. I mean, grow it out then.
Mature says he fucks bitches better than you, really. I mean, I would venture. I mean, Mature is black after all.
That's pretty gay. Yeah, that's pretty gay. But yeah, whatever.
How was that? Wait, he just said he fucks bitches better, but that's gay somehow.
Yeah, it's gay because he's thinking about me fucking bitches, so that's pretty gay, Gilly. I don't fuck about thinking about other people shagging and how wild they shag. Like, I don't care. I don't care how Mature shags, because I'm not thinking about it in my fucking head. The gay. Well,
yeah, but go on a journey with me for a second.
It's super gay to think about another guy shagging. If you've had that mindset, let's do a thought experiment. I shag better than this guy. You thought about how they shag,
bro. He said it, not me, bro. I mean,
but you're trying to use that as an argument.
I just read it. I just read the bottom of the screen.
Fine, all right.
I'm an innocent party, man.
Next.
All right, next. Let's talk about how Carlos Prates is going to beat fucking Ian Gary's ass almost as badly as I beat you at chess.
Oh, I mean,
no,
for chat's reference, Giuliano has also challenged me to a fight as well next year. He's coming to the UK. We're going to have a spar.
Betty is straight up lying, right? Betty's so full of shit. That never happened. Betty's completely.
I think that's a Steven Seagal reference.
Yeah, I know.
It is something
I know it's
Giuliano
a
would say,
Steven
though.
I know it's a Steven Seagal reference, but for somebody like Brutally who's just gonna read that and fucking start frothing at the mouth with
Well, because
excitement,
it
I
is
need to.
exactly what you would say. Like, if you put that out there,
No,
like,
it's
no
a
one would
Steven
question
Seagal
it.
reference, bro. Yeah, see, I mean, you hear me talking about how I took on 15 Yakuza guys in my Aikido gym? Like, no, bro.
I mean, it sounds like you. Oh, like, I train
No,
Muay
it
Thai. I've been
doesn't.
training Muay Thai for about 10,
No, it doesn't.
10
Yeah, no,
years. Wait
brutally.
until you feel my fucking leg kicks brutally.
bro,
Wait until I
yeah,
leg
no,
kick
yeah,
you. You won't be able to walk, man.
yeah, brother, and you said it's like you said, if you got me to the ground, you would be able to submit me easily. Like I would concede that I'm not a grappler. Like
No, what I said, you said that because you were trying to make yourself feel better. What I said is I'm going to pick you
I'm
up
not
and
trying to make
spike you
myself
on your
feel better. I'm
motherfucking
trying to
head. That's
accurately
what I
assess
said. I
something.
said I'm going to spike you on your head and get you down.
I mean,
You're the one who
that's
was like,
no, yeah. Realistically, really, if you think you're gonna like pick me up and spike me on my head, that's a fantasy. But if you got me to the ground, yes, you're with grappling with like a decade.
why does it when you say it sound like really zesty?
What?
I don't
Bro,
know.
see, this is the thing. Is that you got to question Brutally sexuality when like everything is gay.
I'm very confident in my sexuality. I'm just very aware when another man starts talking about fantasies.
You're very aware.
When you start
your
talking about
awareness is
fantasies
so
and you're
heightened that it's
involving
almost like
I'm beginning to question what the actual aim of this spar is, Gilly.
I mean, you're the grappler, bro, not me. I mean, I'm a striker, bro. Like, I mean, you're the one trying to, double leg me and like get up in there, root around.
Oh no, I'll knock you out.
I thought so privately you're like, don't be a mong and try to knock me out. Now you're gonna knock me out.
I said that, but then you said, "Oh, I'm going to make sure you can't fucking walk
No,
when I start leg kicking you." That's what you fucking said. I thought
I didn't say I was gonna make sure you couldn't walk.
Yeah, that's what you fucking said.
Really, I'll put. Wait, do you want to put money down?
There's no way.
You want to put money down on the trajectory of the
you'll
conversation?
pull any punches.
What?
I'll go in there. I'll go 50%, and you'll come in flying at me 100%.
No.
You'll want the Giuliano moment. I'm better. I beat you in chess. I beat you in the spar.
He's gonna run.
Brutally. Come on. I have a video of you when Harry Kane scored on him. Listen, hold up. When Harry Kane scored on Paris Saint-Germain, Brutally, you hit the ceiling, bro. You're like, oh. A goal! Oh, stuck on those clubs.
That's what you fucking do. If you fight a win,
right. That's really that's your energy, bro. And so it's like you're expecting, you're expecting that from somebody. You're expecting that somebody else is gonna come at you with the same, like, oh, I fucking but. Like, I mean, nah, bro. In reality, I would have to keep you at distance, and you're a fucking grappler, so I'd be,
Wait, Gilly.
But anyway, why?
How tall are you, Gilly? How tall are you again?
6'2.5" exactly. That's why I say 6'2.5".
So where would this so-called what weight would this fight take place?
I mean, Brutally. I don't. How tall is Brutally? Brutally, how tall are you again?
5'7".
I'm about 5'7".
Okay, so yeah, and we weigh about the same actually. So like,
yeah, but if I start training, I'll probably get down to 170.
Right.
Wait.
Yeah. I
80 kg. What's that in pounds?
Fucking hell, mate. Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fat.
Well, I mean,
to be fair, it's only
I would.
No,
that's 180 kilograms is 176 pounds, mate.
Yeah, 176.
Yeah.
I'd probably be about 165.
I mean, I would actually go up, and wait, but to get in actual shape for like a legit, fight hard spar or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm gonna be in the UK next year, so it's like, we'd be around the same fucking weight. Like, yeah, if you want to really like weight class it, dude, you could make it a 170. Like, yeah. At the end of the day, it's kind of retarded, right? Like, It's like it's like one of us gets more, some of the others purse or some shit. Like, but yeah,
I'm sure the terms would be as fucked up as they are in our private chats. Like, grower hit the moustache and
it's just meant to be a spar, isn't it? It's not meant to be a full-on fucking fight. Like,
no, yeah. So yeah, like I said, dude, it's like with gym pads and everything.
I'll probably be 165. You come in at whatever. Like, we'll see how it goes.
That'd be on either.
I mean, Giuliano keeps saying, "Oh, he's a grappler." I mean, I train multiple disciplines. I train MMA.
No, yeah, I believe you can. I believe you can strike, dude. Like,
but
I believe you can strike, brother.
I've trained grappling for about 7 years. My brother was an MMA coach. He started a few gyms. Got into grappling through him. I do boxing, MMA classes, stuff like that. That's for everyone who's asking.
Which was nobody, by the way. But
no, Matua asked.
I'm giving you shit, bro. No, like seriously though, like back, like I mean, if I could bring this back to Carlos Process versus being gay, yeah, here brutally to you. Klaus, I'll take you up on that, bro. I mean, you and my friend John, who's an actual
Klaus looks like more of a striker
player
to me. I mean, Klaus.
Well, I mean, all right. So my friend John is I mean, he should be debuting in LFA, like in the early fall. He's a professional MMA fighter. He's a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He'll probably corner 5'4". Yeah, I mean, of course, Paradox is gonna say that. I don't weigh 240. You fucking slender man looking fuck. Hey, just because Paradox is Bulbul's height, and he walks around at 7'3", doesn't mean that he has any fucking idea who's gonna fucking win a sparring match between me and Brutally.
What do you mean? And like usually a sparring match, there's no winner, Gilly.
I know. Yeah, but I mean, there's I feel like
if you won't keep count of how many times I submit you, then fine, fair enough. But
I mean, yeah, well, I mean that would be an example of. I mean, yeah, it's not like fucking. It's not a 5-round fight necessarily. It's fucking it would be sparring.
Gary's frothing at the mouth. If
you submitted me, that would be you winning. No. In a sense, at least, right?
What do you mean, in a sense? What?
Yeah. So yes, right. So yes. Yes, right. Yes, that would be you winning. You said there's no winning, but if you submitted me, that would be you winning. Right? Yes, logic.
It depends in the sense that you're talking about. Yes, but in a normal spar, not really.
But bro, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a friendly fade, bro.
Keep going.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's a friendly fade. But yeah, of course, I would keep track of every time because yeah, and of course, in the months leading up to it, at the very least, I'm gonna be working on takedown defense, But my takedown defense, the extent of my grappling ability would amount to takedown defense only. But also I hit you with a side kick to the body or enough, fucking leg kicks, bro. And it's that's what I said, by the way, when you were talking about how you're like, oh, I'll dunk you on your head. I'm like, yeah, bro, you're going to have to fucking, you're going to have to get your arms around me first. And if I'm if I'm hitting you with inside leg kicks and shit, we're just talking shit in a fucking WhatsApp group. Yeah. See, this is the thing with you, Brutally.
There's a lot of context here that people are missing out on because this has been going on.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's that's why. See, this is why the nurse. I feel like really
we dove into this. We dove into this with zero context. It was just
I know. So see, what we need, Frankie, is we need to mount cameras in Brutally's spot. So we can see him the nurse holding him and kind of brushing his hair as he weeps. And and all the shit that people don't see in his public presentation of himself, because the reality is Like, he's in shadow boxing in the mirror right before his appearance. Like just getting all hyped up, ready to fucking
But
be
I mean,
on
if
the
we're gonna
attack.
do this, if we're gonna do this, we're
If
gonna
I'm
do it
being
right.
honest, if I'm being honest, I won't train at all from now to the point that we have this spot. Gio's going to go in a full fight camp for 12 months.
I mean, like,
he's already DM'd his best mate who's a fucking LFA fighter, and Colossus is going to train him, and he's going to have all these fucking fight camps with all these trainers, coaches. He's going to come in like fucking ripped, and I'm just going to be there with my fucking gut hanging out, a beer in my hand. You ready for that sport?
yeah, bro. I mean, you come in tied to Avasa style, bro. He held up for a while, I mean, he's still in the UFC. He never got cut.
That is exactly how it would go. By the way. I know that Gilly would take it seriously, and you just take the.
I mean, yeah. I would take it seriously. I mean, also, I'm going to the UK not just for that next year. So it's not. I mean, I don't know about like a first fight. What?
That would be weird. I'm assuming this is obviously a sidebar. You've got stuff to do over here.
Oh yeah. No, I'm going to Ireland first, and then I'm coming down into the actual UK. Some friends in Scotland. My ex-girlfriend moved to Edinburgh from London. I'll see her, and then I got a bunch of friends all over.
You go and see your ex-girlfriend.
So one of my ex-girlfriends.
Let's not be shy about this. We've all we've all revisited certain situations before. There's no shame in that.
I mean, dude, bro, of my ex-girlfriends, there's very few that I'm on good terms with. So I mean, why the fuck not? Also, it's an excuse to fucking go to Edinburgh. It's like I have no other reason.
We might as well try and build a whole sparring card at this point.
I really want to do that, dude. I would love it if there was like an MMA YouTube fight card, just like fucking Good Noodle versus Lorenzo on the prelims, and fucking like, or actually no, it'd probably be Good Noodle versus Hank. That would be the fight.
Oh
to
no,
make.
we need Hank versus Skate at this point. I think that would
No.
get
Oh, interesting. That's a good fight.
I mean, that's the fight to make. If you're thinking about it, they've got the
that is the fight.
That's gone sour.
Is the fight. There you go. That's your old school UFC fucking storyline. Yeah. And then
you know what, right? If we actually put together a proper fight card, like made it like tough style, we'd outdo the fucking UFC.
Yeah, word. Orange Cat's like, who do I get? Like,
yeah, I don't want any of that.
Who's Orange Cat? Yeah, Frankie, you versus Orange Cat, man.
Fuck off! I'm not. He trains, bro. You joking? I'm a.
He just started training Muay Thai. Frankie, he just started training Muay Thai. You train. You train too.
How old is Orange Cat?
Orange Cat, how old are you?
How old are you, bro?
Don't let him not answer. Oh wait, Western versus musical, because there's a storyline there too. I mean, I don't want to get into it too much, but
let's not bring it up. They're all cool now.
Yeah, no, they are, but like, I mean, I feel like they, like, actually, no, who would musical fight? I mean, like, you think we could get like some of the fucking mainstream fucks into it, like, have musical fight MMA Joey, just have it be like a, it's like a super heavyweight.
Hang on a minute, like there's not a single person in the community that is the size of MMA fucking Joey.
Yeah, no, I was joking, dude. I think I'm about as tall as him, but like, yeah, I mean, that dude's like 350, all fucking dough, fat and fat.
I did offer to fight him, but he turned it down. Yeah, because he put out like videos years ago saying that he'd fight anyone in the community. So I said,
yeah. Dude,
I went in and I said, I'll fight you. And he was like, no, I'm not into that gay YouTuber shit. Like,
bro. No. I mean, as much as Clown Show is a ridiculous fucking idiot, like, he did like some award stream where he gave MMA Joey the award for biggest fake tough guy, and like that all makes sense now.
Yeah, he challenged. He basically put out an open challenge, and then when I called him out, he didn't.
Why did he
want to
do?
fight.
Why did he really? Why the fuck did he do that? He's like, I'll take all comers, and then you're like, yo, I'll fight you, and he's like, no.
I don't know. It's like fake tough guy shit, isn't it? Like, because clearly he's got to say that shit on the uprise because he's an MMA channel. He's got at the pot somewhat.
I mean, do you though? Do you really have to? I mean,
yeah, I think you do. Even gurus had to do it. Like it. You're either about it or you're not. But I think at some point, every MMA YouTuber is going to go through that stage of, yeah, I know my shit.
I mean, I guess, man, but like, you know, Joey's corny though, dude, and he's like, his takes are completely based on like, you know, I don't even think he believes half the shit he says. He's like, all right, I'm gonna be the liberal guy in MMA.
Oh no,
YouTube.
he definitely believes it. He definitely believes it.
I mean, maybe he does, but like, there's no. I mean, you can't deny that, like, you know,
I'd have
even if
more
he
respect
believed.
for him. I'd have more respect for him if he didn't. I'd be like, good hustle. It's the same thing with Kenny Okoye. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
disagree.
If he was on the hustle, I'd be like, fine. But he
I don't. I think I disagree completely. I think you're more of a worm if like you're just like Lucas Tracy's a guy who like, I mean, it's like MMA was the thing for him. It's like that's the guy who just wanted to find something to be, you know, PG-13,
I mean,
family friendly.
You can see that because he was a TikTok. He was trying to get famous on TikTok, wasn't he?
Yeah, and his takes are horrible. Like, you know, I remember I was live streaming once. Someone asked me what I thought of Lucas, so I had never watched the shit. I throw on like a video of his, and he's saying things like with the cadence of someone who knows what they're talking about, but like it's all horseshit. Like he said, I think he said Oban Elliott was the Grant Dawson of welterweight, which makes absolutely no sense because Grant Dawson's a wrestler. Oban Elliott's a striker. Like, you know, he just says shit that it's fucking, and that guy's got like 500,000 subscribers, and fucking people like No Chill Paradox and Good Noodle and you and fucking Frankie and everybody, like there's no reason for it. And James Lynch is another one. Like, it's like, why do these people fucking, you know, it's kind of annoying. Like, you know, that like they're the biggest people. I mean, you know, that's why it's like Guru. You have to respect Guru's passion for the shit at least. Like, even if you don't like, I know like a couple of people don't like him, but Paradox has an 86-inch reach. I believe that. I believe Paradox has an 86-inch reach. Anyway, so here's what. So Carlos Prates, right?
You've said this about 5 times, and then you get sidetracked.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, brutally, it's like, I mean,
that's what Sundays are all about, mate. There's no straight direction on Frankie's Sunday night streams. We've got to go all over the fucking shop.
Yeah, bro. It's easy. Yeah.
Wait, carry on.
Yeah, I mean, look, like, the thing about Carlos Prates, like, the thing about that fight, right, is like, I was here. Like, I'll ask both of you, like, try to see it in your head. How does, like, I mean, you're saying like, oh, Ian Gary avoids him until he supposedly gasses out, and then does what?
Yeah.
And how does he avoid it?
Over.
How does he
I think what he'll do once he starts gassing or slowing down, I think he'll get him in the clinches up against the cage and start throwing knees.
Okay,
he'll wake him up against the cage.
And you don't think that I think you're counting on a cardio differential that there's no real basis for, but at the same time, forgetting that for a second,
not cardio as such. What he'll do is he'll frustrate him. He'll stay at range. He'll pick him at range, and then if he starts to tiring towards the fourth, I feel like he'll either be all in or all out. So it'll be clinches. I mean,
but like you're getting so far into a fight where, like, why would Carlos Prates just hang back and let Ian Gary trot around and circle around the cage? Like,
you're acting though like Prates has got nothing to respect coming back. I think that's a mistake on your part.
I mean,
I don't think he's gonna see it that way.
striking wise, dude. Like, think about the second round.
Let's take away Ian Gary as a person and what he is, what he
No,
represents.
Frankie, I'm already there. Frankie, I'm already there, dude. I don't like.
We need to separate the person and the skill set.
Yeah. No, dude, I'm already there, dude. I always say this.
He's not stylistic, like he's not pretty to watch, but the guy is good at what he fucking does.
Think about
I was very technical, and when he's faced with someone who's trying to blitz him or engage with him, he'll clinch up with him. He'll just clinch up with him.
Okay, so think about this. Think about the second round of Ian Gary versus Michael Venom Page, right? Remember that he lost the second round because he kept it on the feet and he was outstruck by Page, who's not, whose strikes are not, he doesn't strike with knockout power. And, and Gary just, first of all, there was a reach disadvantage, which he also has a reach disadvantage against Prates. And those stats, a lot of times stats don't matter. The stats matter in a situation where you have Ian Gary, who's 2 inches taller with a significantly shorter reach.
And what did Ian Gary keep doing in the MVP fight to neutralize the striking? He
took him to the ground. He clinched until he could take him to the ground in the third round, the first fight. Yeah. He clinches with Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates is gonna be on top of him and in top control, bro.
You're acting like Ian Gary has no fucking chance, which is where I take umbrage with your opinions.
I mean, I'm not saying that he has no chance. What I'm saying is that I see it strongly for Carlos Prates when I actually, walk through the fight. You watch tape on both of them,
Bro, this is 5 rounds against a chain smoker. I'm taking
Frankie, like it's five. Yeah, I mean, Pimlet versus Chandler was 5 rounds until it ended early. You get me? Like, yeah, and also, you
can talk all you want, but the things that Ian Gary is saying about Carlos is true. He is a quitter. Like, how many fights has he lost? He's lost a lot of fights getting to the UFC.
He's also fought about twice as many fights as Ian Gary. I mean, there's something to be said for that.
It's fine if you're fighting bums, and he can't even beat bums.
He is not. He can't even beat bums, dude. He's won every UFC fight he's had by.
Yeah, but wait, you're talking about the UFC. You're talking about the UFC, but
right. So you got to assume that somebody's getting
as a career. He has lost, and he has lost a lot.
Yeah. But
we're not talking about an undefeated fighter.
But who's
Ian Gary lost to? He's lost to one fighter.
Shavkat, but at the same,
who was a fucking world beater. We're not.
Yeah, of course. But think about this, dude. Like, you have fighters that improve with each fight. There are that is the thing, right?
And that's true of Ian Gary. You're talking about.
I mean, I don't see a difference in Ian Gary between fighting Neil Magny and fighting Jeff Neal. He barely beat Jeff Neal. He couldn't finish Magny. Prates finished Magny in a single round. Like, I mean,
we're doing that MMA math thing again, though.
No. It's not about.
That's not Ian Gary's style, is it? Ian Gary.
Ian Gary has. As soon as Ian Gary started fighting higher level competition, he stopped being able to finish people like that.
He started getting technical. And I think that's something that you need to
because
start
he had
doing
to because he couldn't finish. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like. He had Neil Magny doing ass scoots backwards. That fight was embarrassing for Neil Magny. But regardless, like, I mean, he started getting technical. He's not gonna. If you think that Ian Gary is gonna out grapple Carlos Prates, like you're dreaming, bro. Like, I mean, Carlos Prates is every bit as technical.
I don't know if I agree with that. I'm not saying that Gary's going to necessarily out-grapple him. I'm saying that the reason why I'm more on the side of Gary potentially being a problem is it's this narrative that Prates is going to go in there and absolutely starch him. And I'm saying Gary.
I'm not saying that. Frankie, you and I have both.
very intelligent.
Yeah.
He clearly puts time into the game. While my man is smoking 20 packs a day and doing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
It's a.
He's smoking 20. Bro, I don't smoke 20 packs.
No. I'm talking about Prates, not you.
Yeah.
Not you.
No, I know. No, I'm saying I don't smoke 20 packs a day. Carlos Prates.
Bringing it back to yourself again, are we, Giuliano?
Yo, I'm sorry.
Always about you.
Talking about Prates.
It wasn't about you.
Brutally, listen. Brutally. Myself and Carlos both enjoy our Marlboro Reds. I mean, that's once again, I'm just stating facts. But
it was a slightly injured Shavkat, but I get what you're saying.
No, not slightly injured. No, hold on.
Shavkat look
no. Stop. Not slightly injured. Do you know what a torn MCL is like? A torn MCL is a very, very serious injury. It's a very serious injury, bro. Like, is it a torn?
You go in. But Gary took the fight in like how many weeks' notice as well?
I mean, yeah, and he took the fight. Yeah, he was still in camp, bro. I mean, and a torn MCL is a very, very serious fucking injury. He had Shavkat had a broken ankle and submitted Stephen Thompson. I don't think I don't think he's not fought injured in one fight, bro. Like, and he just doesn't understand how to here's
the point. Yeah, I think this is going to be the hardest fight of Prates' career by far.
And Gary's, bro. And Gary's maybe because of Shavkat's injury.
But you can make a case that we don't know enough yet. I'm saying using what we know, acting like Prates is going to go in there and just smash him is mad. I'm not saying
agree.
It's not going to happen.
Right. Frankie, you and I have agreed on the same thing when it comes to Jones versus Aspinall. Like, people think, like, I agree that Aspinall could definitely, like, even finish Sean Jones, but people act like Jones is gonna be light work.
It's going to be a wash. I don't. Nah.
Exactly. Yeah, and I agree that it's the same situation. I mean, I'm just saying that, like, breaking down like fight acumen in different ways and then seeing it in your head, like I don't see it. Yeah, Paradox. He was fucking so injured. You ever tear your MCL? You fucking giraffe. Jesus. Prates has fought no one. He's fought no one. How has Prates fought no one, bruv? First of all, there's overlap in who they both fought, dude. Like, Ian Gary's fought Shavkat. Okay, that's it. He barely fucking beat Jeff Neal. I mean, he doesn't. He's a vegan, which comes into play. This isn't like some cock shit. He's a vegan. It's so.
Hang on. Are you disregarding the smoking, but you're putting in there the fact that Ian Gary's a vegan?
Well, why? Why I bring that up, right? So, I think it was UFC 298. I was, MMA Junkie, the publication, right? They did this thing where they showed what every fighter. I mean, you can find this information anyway, but what every fighter actually weighed in the cage, right? And so I'm looking through this, and Ian Gary weighed 180 pounds, whereas Jeff Neal weighs 200 pounds in the cage, right? So if Gary's only putting 10 pounds back on, right? I mean, there's all kinds of, things with that. Like, what do you think Carlos Prates walks around at?
He looks pretty big for welterweight. I'll put it that way. He does look.
Yeah, I mean, and it's
so
like
does Gary. Gary's not small either.
No, he's not.
I don't think size is going to be much.
But that's what I'm saying. But
they're fairly even.
He's talking about he's talking about how they replenish. I think that's what he's getting.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that isn't always a good thing on the bigger fighter than cutting more weight and then putting more weight back on. That isn't always necessarily.
No, I mean,
like, if you're fighting more at a natural weight, then that could go for Ian Gary. I'm not really sure what point you're making there. That could go.
I'm just what I'm saying basically is that
it's 5 rounds. I feel like we need to point this out.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's, but I mean, you remember that Izzy versus Amalov was 5 rounds.
You're convinced that it's not going to go there, and
I'm not even saying that. But you had another thing about the way Carlos Prates fights is that he really doesn't move around much unless he's going in for the fucking kill. Like, he doesn't expend much energy.
Move around more because of Ian Gary's style.
I mean, okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think that do you think that it is impossible that Carlos Prates could, can have Ian Gary on the back foot, circling, and then close him off at the cage and strike?
No,
I'm
it's
not.
not
I'm not saying
impossible.
it's
I'm
impossible.
saying
No.
there's loads of things that could happen in this fight. Though you're acting like it's a lock.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm like, I mean, betting wise, dude, I'm not gonna lock the main event. I'm just saying that I have a strong, I can't, and dude, this is like, as a fucking gambler, right?
You can't envisage a
I can't. Yeah,
Ian Gary
it's like,
win.
and I spent, it's like a huge part of trying to predict fights is like, is running through the fight, trying to see how each fighter wins, and it's just, I
See,
can't like
I can see how both fighters win, and I lean to more towards Ian Gary, especially as it goes later into the fight. Especially as it goes later into the fight.
I mean,
And
not one other thing too. I think that people don't either disregard or just have this notion that, like, it's like, okay, this guy's he fought this person this way, that person that way. It's like, you do understand that, like, I mean, obviously both fighters are, but like, you do understand that Carlos Prates is preparing to fight Ian Gary specifically, which means watching tape, which means, like, analyzing, what Ian Gary does if he does this, right? Well, Gary has a good feedback, right? Counter someone cage cutting. I mean, that, Betty, that may be true, but like,
So what
I
you're
mean,
saying is actually watching tape on another fighter.
obviously, but like, like, I mean, what I'm saying is that
I was being
when people talk,
sarcastic, by the way.
no,
I was
I
being
know you are.
sarcastic because
I know
we
you
all
are. That's why
fucking
I said
know that.
obviously.
Right.
That's
Just
why I
like Ian
sighed
Gary's
and
watching
said
tape
obviously.
on Pratt.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I was like,
Yeah, exactly.
obviously.
Yeah.
But also, what I'm saying is that in analyzing, an upcoming fight, right? People, and like, for example, Gene Silva submitting Bryce Mitchell, right? I can't tell you how many fucking people, were telling me, yo, like, so, like, Gene Silva by knockout, right? Like, this person by, like, and I'm like, no, Gene Silva's gonna win, you know. I mean, he's almost certainly gonna finish him, but like, I don't know if it's gonna be by knockout. I know Bryce Mitchell is gonna try to grapple. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Taperia fucking submitted Mitchell, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, people don't.
Yeah, but
I feel like a lot of times people don't recognize.
I think that from where I come from in regards to Ian Gary is a lot of people count Ian Gary out because it's Ian Gary.
Oh, I've never
And-
counted
and-
Ian.
and
See,
that's
I'm the last person in the world to do that. I always fucking. I mean, John Jones is the main example of that, where it's like, it's like, I don't like John Jones really any
yeah, but
more than.
it's not just about disliking John Jones. Like
No,
everyone knows John Jones
but
is
you
a
said just
fucking great
because he's
fighter.
Ian
But
Gary.
a lot of people can't accept Ian Gary is a decent fighter.
No, he's a great fighter. He's a
Regardless
great fighter.
of whether you like
There's
him or
not a single UFC fight that Ian Gary's fought in, except against Shavkat, where I hadn't picked him to win.
I think what Brutally is saying about Gary, that's partially true, but I think people are over sucking Prates off as well. I'm not saying Prates isn't.
I mean, okay, so
very good.
I'll say this, right? I'll say this, and this
He's a chain smoker, and he's fought Neil Magny. Like, I mean,
he knocked Neil Magny. Yeah, he finished Neil Magny. Ian Gary fought Neil Magny too.
There are people in this chat that would take Neil Magny to a decision.
Yeah, Frankie, yeah, Ian Gary took him to a decision. Carlos Prates finished him inside of a round, man. Like, I mean, bad MMA math, right? But like, still, I mean, also though, like, look, dude, I will say this, and like, dude, you and I have talked about this. Like, I'm the last fucking person in the world to be on either side of like Brazilian glaze or Dagestani glaze. I think all that shit is fucking retarded. It comes down to individual fighter versus individual fighter when you're going into a fight, right? And like, so I don't, I don't go, oh, he's a fighting nerd, he can't fucking lose, right? That's not, I mean, there were questions, I mean, Mauricio Husby, like, after his first fight, but then it's like, you know what? He's fighting Bobby Green. Like, he's gonna fuck Bobby Green up.
Ruffy, I said this about a year and a half ago when the Fighting Nerds came in. Rufi's probably the one that I'm the least convinced about. But
Yeah, he was the weak link.
I've always been behind Gene.
But
I think Gene Silver's. I think Cal Barello's going to get found out next. I think
I
Gene
mean,
Silver's got the best chance out
I
of
think
all of them.
so. Okay, so tell me if you agree with this. This is like you know, because Kyle Barello obviously can grapple, right? Like when he fought Jared Cannonier and he fought that fight completely on the feet. Like, I mean, like there's something in the way that he fought that fight that led me to believe that he just refused to grapple, you know, to basically, you know, to fight that as a striking fight against honestly one of the best middleweight strikers, right? You know, to literally using a fucking main event fight to fucking almost like a test of his own striking ability. Like, you know, I mean, it's like something about like the way that those, you know, people from that camp, like, you know, it's just it's a different type of, you know, it's like I'm not glazing, like, you know, I don't have any bias towards anything. It's just like coming out of that gym or that, you know, that camp, it's you know, it's different. And like, I mean, there have been gyms like that, you know, in the past, like, but you know, yeah, I mean, you know, the four of them just descended on their respective divisions, and like, and Huffy, you know, and like I was saying before, it's like somebody's first fight in the octagon, you know, they have to make their bones, you know. He didn't look great against, who was it, Lonzov that he fought first. You know, and then the fucking, you know, I mean, the way he finished Bobby Green, like, you know, was, you know, and you know, and now people are, you know, calling for him to get a shot at the rankings after only 2 fights in the UFC, which, I mean, you know, I wouldn't even mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's, you know, they're all four of them are very unique. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Kyle Barala beats Imavov, for example. I mean, you don't think so?
No.
I mean, better grappler, dude.
I like Imavov in that fight. Close one, though.
I like KO. How sure are we
you
about
you
this,
like that? Yeah, brutally.
I'm a bit biased though. How sure are we KO versus Amzat will be made, or do you think Amzat sits out?
I mean, I heard that. I mean, I keep hearing different things. I heard Dreykus was injured today. That's some rumor. I mean,
no, he's injured. He's out. He's out of the fight. It was scheduled for International Fight Week.
Yeah, June. It was the end of June.
It must be a serious. It must be a serious injury because he's. Yeah.
No, I believe that. What I don't think is I really don't think they're gonna do like an interim belt like for middleweight. Like, I seriously doubt it. I think they'll just, you know, they'll restructure another division's championship for that. You know,
they're gonna do Cow and Hamza, I reckon.
I don't think so, dude.
It should be Mavov. It should be a Mavov.
Yeah, of course it should be a Mavov. I really don't think that they're gonna fucking. I don't think they're gonna do that, bro.
Cow's a fighting nerd. They've got the name now. I think they do him and Hamza. You know, I reckon that's what.
I totally disagree, bro. I think they do him versus
the Mavov. Out and wait, because Hamzat's probably gonna be like, well, I'm not gonna fight for a fucking.
I mean, think about the space between middleweight championship fights, bro. Like, I mean, they had it wasn't until it was the end of July before Dreykus defended the belt after winning it in January of last year. I mean, you know, you know, I mean, if they have to push, you know, the middleweight championship fight, you know, back a month and you know, move another division's championship,
it'll probably be more like the end of the year, though. I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
I don't think so.
It all depends on injury.
They'll probably do it on your Jones card.
Nah, dude. November, Madison Square Garden, John Jones fights Tom Aspinall, Frankie. It happens. Everybody's gonna be, oh no, he's gonna die. Yeah, you know, all you like, you know, all you are, you know, like, I mean, you know, like, all you're gonna be kissing the ring in November. Yeah, like, anyway, yeah. I'm sorry,
I'll be happy to see it.
I mean, yeah, man. So will everybody. I mean, that's the thing. But it's like, anyway, you know, I think. All right, so like, let's get into this card though Saturday, because it is actually a really good card, bro. Like, I mean, you know, I think like I mean, okay, so like I mean, obviously Anthony Smith. I mean, you know, I mean
Anthony
he's
Smith's gonna
not.
die, obviously.
Bro, he's not even gonna be able to do his fucking commentator job. The CTE is just gonna fuck. He's gonna just be like that.
Can't really do it now.
Bro, he's fucking like the way that Dominic Reyes. I kept calling it rough justice when it happened. It's like making all these jokes about like he brings his kid. He's one of those fighters that brings his like wife and children to his fights. It's like why would you? It's like if I was a fucking professional fighter, I would never do that. Because like you know your fucking son, your little like 7-year-old son might see you, you know, like you know just covering up, being you know with unanswered strikes pummeling you, and you got to answer, yeah. And like I mean you know Anthony Smith taking another fight is I mean, and he hasn't announced his retirement beforehand. Anthony Smith is quasi delusional.
I
I
thought
think.
he had. I thought he had announced it as his last
Did,
fight.
oh,
He
did
said
he?
it's his last. Yeah, he said it's his last fight.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, thank the fuck
Which
Christ,
kind of
dude.
makes it. Which kind of makes it worse if you think about it.
Oh yeah.
How
He's gonna
many
get.
people saying this is my last fight? You know, like and win. It doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, it
I mean,
really
well,
doesn't
actually,
happen.
didn't Robbie Lawler do that?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't happen that often, and they
No,
gave
I know.
him.
Yeah, yeah.
They gave
I
him
remember
Nico.
Frankie Edgar
Later,
announced his
Nico
last
died.
fight.
Nico
Yeah,
Price,
yeah.
he took a dive in that fight. That was ridiculous. He didn't even touch him. But anyway,
Dude, I don't know that he took a dive, man.
yeah, that was awful.
But
Mate.
I mean, regardless, I mean, because Frankie Edgar, I remember announced his last fight, and he got fucking knocked out in the first round. And
By
yeah, who was it? Shit.
Sandhagen, wasn't it?
No. It
Was
was
it
a
after that?
145.
Oh no, it was somebody else. It was even worse than that. He got
Yeah.
KO'd twice in a row. Frankie Edgar. Who did he lose to last? It was.
Yeah,
Not anybody
it was
low.
the first Izzy Pereira card. So it
I'm
would have
gonna
been
kick myself
November
when I see this.
2020.
No, it was Chris Gutierrez.
Yeah, Chris Gutierrez, who by the way is like I like people don't see it for John Castaneda, bro, but I mean, you know, like he knocked out old man Frankie Edgar. I mean, you know, all right.
It
But
suddenly
John,
popped in my mind as I was pulling it up.
you know, like what's the other fight that I was like that I actually like want to talk about? Oh yeah, Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. That fight, I'm very that's a hard fight to
I'm
fucking
very,
pick.
very underwhelmed by that shit, to be honest. I think David
Really?
Chikadze is a fraud, and I think David
What?
Onama's not that
He's
good
a
either.
fraud.
He's shit, mate. I don't like him. He's
I
rubbish.
mean, bro. I mean, he gave Arnold Allen kind of a run for his money, bro.
Not really. I was there. It was a nothing fight. It was.
I mean,
Arnold Allen was in no danger.
I think Arnold Allen could have. I mean, he could have wrestled and chose not to. I mean, that was part of it. But
Chikadze's a goon.
so what?
He's a goon.
Why is he a goon? Why is he a goon?
It's like me, you know, like jabbing somebody and then naming myself after that jab. I just find that shit fruity. I don't like that.
Oh, because of the kick? Yeah. I mean, okay, fine.
But I mean,
Yeah,
that aside, all aside from that, I just don't think. Again, lost to Calvin Cater. He's just not that good.
I
This is a
kind of
guy who
agree.
said he was
I am
gonna
leaning
destroy.
towards Onama. I'm leaning towards Onama.
The thing is, I don't think Onama's that good either. But at least Onama's athleticism.
I mean, I think Onama, like you know, like I said, it's like certain fighters you see improvement with each fight. You know, maybe here and there, not so much. Like you know, on the trajectory. But I mean, you know, I don't know. I think you know.
Didn't Onama
I mean,
lose?
you know, only Nate Landwehr by majority decision, dude. I mean, you know, he submitted Garrett Armfield. He's had, I mean, you know, in in the UFC, he lost his first UFC fight by decision, but he's two and
I wouldn't be surprised if
35 and
won.
2.
I don't care about this fight at all. I'm not bothered. Like,
Mm,
less fuck.
dude, I think it's a weird. It's a weird matchup.
I don't know why they're doing it.
It's one of those fights that looks like it won't be good, and then it happens, and you're like, "Fuck, that was a good fight." Like,
See, I feel
okay.
like it's going to be the opposite. It looks like one of those fights that looks like it's going to be shit, and it'll be shitter.
Wait, brutally. Wait, so brutally. So
Anyway,
what you're saying is, you
my
feel
friend.
the opposite of the way I do. No shit. Like that's crazy.
Right, I'm
All
going
right,
now,
all right.
lads. I'll catch you in a bit.
Michelle Pereira
Take it easy,
versus a
Brutally.
Bruce. Michelle
Carry on,
Pereira
Brutally.
versus a what?
Brutaly's off. Subscribe to Brutally Honest MMA if you guys are.
Yeah.
Later, Frankie.
with him.
Yeah, actually do subscribe to Brutally Honest MMA. He's a savage fucking crazy fuck, but like he's dope. So,
Thanks for
actually,
hopping on, brother. I appreciate it. Take it easy,
yeah,
bro.
peace, bro. All right, yo, Frankie. Here's a fight, right? Michelle Pereira versus a Bruce. They're Magomedov, whatever the fuck his last name is.
Wait,
A Bruce
Pereira versus
Magomedov.
a Boost.
Michelle Pereira, yeah, versus a Bruce Magomedov. So
It's all right.
here's something. Right, so here's something, right? So because of how Anthony Hernandez like just fucking rolled through Pereira, right? You know, Anthony Hernandez is on a different level, right? People forget that Michelle Pereira actually is, you know, very powerful as a striker and has grappling. I mean, you know,
that fluffy fight we always knew was going to be bad for him. I mean, those who know that was not going to be good.
yeah, absolutely. But at the same time,
count out the fact that he still looks great at middleweight. Before then, he was looking decent.
Of course. And I mean, also, I mean, Abus Magomedov was knocked out in the second round by Sean Strickland. He got Bruno Ferreira to the ground and got like a lucky, what I would consider to be a lucky submission. I think Michelle Pereira is better everywhere, bro. Like, you know, and like, you know, he's another person. It's like when people, the idea that somebody's only as good as their last fight is fucking retarded, in my opinion. I mean, you know, how many times has that proven not to be true?
Yeah. I mean, I'm
He fed a
I'm kind of glad we got the Prates and Gary fight this weekend because it actually makes it a better card, in my opinion.
yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby is a good fight too. I think
Dalby's secretly very good as well. I like Dalby. Tough as fuck.
Yeah, he did. I mean, dude, that fucking bro, he when he knocked out 2 fights back when he knocked out who was it? Gabriel Bonfim. You know, who was then undefeated, bro.
And I picked Dalby for that fight as well. I had a feeling he'd get it. I felt he'd be too durable, and I like the Bonfims as well. But Dalby impressed me.
Yeah, he lost to Kretnov barely in his last fight, but I think Randy Brown is. I mean, dude, Randy Brown is like, you know, I mean, people thought that he got robbed against Brian Battle. I mean, I thought Brian Battle.
I had Brian Battle winning that fight.
Yeah, I had Brian Battle.
It wasn't an outstanding performance, but I thought he got it.
No, and he missed the weight and he held him against the cage. The fight before that, when he beat Zaleski dos Santos, right?
Very tough
that fight, like that was a fight where it was like, you know, he got a unanimous 29-28. Like that was a fight that was almost on script. Like I had no idea which way that was going to go. It was so back and forth. I mean, he knocked out the way he knocked out Muslim Salikov, who then went on to get a first round knockout. You know, himself. Like, you know,
wheel kick on who was it again? The Chinese lad.
Yeah.
That was a good KO.
It was fucking Song Kanan. Yeah,
Song Kanan. That's it.
Yeah.
The thing is that we've got a nice prospect of, like, I think the card's gonna have some decent scraps on it.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the main card. And I mean, you know, Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz might be the biggest lock on the card.
I assume you're going Aliskerov.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not? Against, I mean, you got to consider.
Aliskerov's another guy who's flattered to deceive as well, bro. I don't really think he's.
Well, I mean, dude, he's not. I mean, Robert Whittaker showed. I mean, I hate that. There's expressions that I hate. I don't want to ever hear about fucking aura. I don't want to hear styles make fights, and I don't want to hear that there's fucking levels to this. But there are levels to things. Robert Whittaker, you know, he showed that against Aliskerov. Andre Muniz, bro, like, I mean, he got knocked out by
Muniz is not good. but like
No, he was subbed by Brendan Allen, knocked out by Paul
got
Craig.
knocked out. Yeah, and getting knocked out by Paul Craig is nasty
He
work.
he won
That's
what I
almost
consider to
that's
be a
almost impossible.
yeah, and he got he won what I consider to be kind of a robbery split decision against Jun Young Park his last fight. You know, so like I mean, yeah, I think Alyssa Rob, like I mean that like I said, like if they're that
Yeah,
that would be the
I think the Min Yang Zhang fight there is. I think Ford is right. I
oh
think
yeah,
I think taking
actually
him
I
by
was
flatline. I think first round
yeah.
KOs are nice. I don't usually do props. You know, I'm not a big
It
fan of them. I think he's gonna.
yeah. Well, that's smart, Frankie, because I mean the only time you should do props is like live betting, normally. But because I mean, if you're gonna get real specific with a prop, I was gonna say, Ming Yang is that to win. Ming Yang and Aliskerov are definite locks. Smith might survive the first round against Ming Yang.
I
But
think he's just going in there to get 1 or 2 more paychecks, and then, or well, obviously 1 more paycheck, and then
yeah,
because
yeah,
he
but
probably makes decent money. To be fair to him, he's probably on a decent.
oh, he
He's
makes
probably on what,
yeah. He's been in. I mean, the
3?
longer you're in the company, dude. Like he's gonna get
Yeah.
$250,000 easy. I mean, Dominic Reyes got $250,000 for the Dustin Jacoby fight, dude. Yeah, I don't want
Dustin
to hear
Jacoby.
that. Well, brutally, like, I mean, I have to qualify it because I don't want to just be like, Robert Whittaker showed there's levels to this and sound like fucking, some Lucas Tracy fucking fuck. But, you gotta remember that. Yeah, fuck you, Paradox. Dude, dude, fucking fucking Paradox, as much of a fucking piece of shit as he is, dude, more people need to know about him. I have to bust his fucking balls just to get him to like, do anything.
I saw that Paradox did a live yesterday, right?
Yeah, I know. I had to harass him to fucking do it, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I'm live now," without telling anybody. Orange Chat.
How you doing, brother?
I'm going by Ty Bet's dad today. That's all you can call me.
I bet that.
I cook him and eat him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
This
He doesn't have to cut weight. He can fucking
Wow,
grapple. I never grappled in my life. He can throw that spinning back kick all he wants. He's getting cooked by the Orange Cat any day.
I mean, yeah, dude. If he throws that spinning back kick, dude, he's gonna get cooked by anybody.
Nah, I'm just playing. What's up, guys?
Yeah, what's going on, bro?
Sorry, I didn't.
How was the farm, bro?
That's
I saw that.
That was Dagestan.
Yeah. Okay.
That Orange Cat MMA, yeah. Orange.
Yeah.
MMA.
Yeah, Frankie.
I want to make sure I've got the. I want to make sure I've got the thing right. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, no, I told like you've seen Orange Cat, right? Like him and I
I've been around in this chat for a while, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I can't
dude,
remember who sent me in. I can't remember who sent me in your direction, but it was it could have been
well,
probably Westy. It's always Westy, isn't it?
I mean, I found out about Orange Cat from like back when James Lynch like ripped off one of his videos. I was like, I mean,
the old Lynchy, yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is a long time coming though for me and Frankie. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yo, no, it has. We spoke about it a little while ago. It's just like, I'm terribly inconsistent on YouTube, mate. I can't be fucked.
No, yeah, I told him on the panel that we did last week. I was like, dude, come on, Frankie's panel. But
Sunday's always it's always a good time to turn up because we just, it's always when the panels kind of. I need to start doing more of them during the week, to be honest, because they're way more entertaining.
I mean, usually it's the day after a card too, which is like.
Now, hold on, not to interrupt you guys, but my son is in here saying critique the first ever kick I threw from 6 years ago. Why the fuck would you record the first kick you ever threw 6 years ago and post it a month ago expecting to get glazed for it? It was embarrassing. You got cooked up and down, and it was just embarrassing all around.
I can't believe people are still. Dude, Anakin, I think, posted that, and it's like, but I mean, he did leave it up. I mean, I can't believe people are still on this from like a month ago.
I mean, as long as it's up, it'll never get lived down. It's just crazy. You can tell when like someone's never stepped foot in a gym. It's just those illusions of grandeur.
At least he didn't fall. I mean, at least he didn't fall.
The
You know?
balance. He held on by a hair.
Nah, bro, everything was wrong with the guy. I mean, you know, obviously, no arguments. But I mean, you know, is what it
Where's this?
is.
I haven't seen it.
It needs to be sent in the stream, but
I'm sure somebody would oblige.
where's this?
Now, which is why I throw my hands up in the air.
Where's the YouTube fight card going down at? What country? What continent?
Sounding like it's going to be UK at the moment, which sounds really unrealistic.
I mean, well, I mean, UK fucks cry poverty anytime it's like, you know, hey, like come travel.
I told you, no, I
come.
was talking to the, you know, members of
It's
my
not
family.
you actually, because you travel.
We're definitely, well, I'm definitely heading over to I'm heading over to New York in the summer for sure. We're kind of
Really?
contemplating whether or not, like, because we want
Yo,
to
you
there.
said you did. Yo, Frankie, because I'm gonna be in New York at the beginning of May, but you said you definitely said you were coming, gonna be in Mexico or California or both this year. Yo,
But we're not with, well, we
fucking-
talked, we're not, it's probably not going to be California now, because obviously I don't want to be jumping from coast to coast if I'm only going to be there for like 3 or 4 weeks.
yeah, no. If
I
you're
don't really
going to
wanna be jumping
Mexico,
on an
though,
8-hour flight, but
where are you going to
'cause
Mexico? Mexico City or what? To Tijuana,
be
dude.
honest,
Tijuana's a fucking time.
I think it is. I think it's going to be Tijuana because my
Yeah, that's
mate I was telling you about as an apartment there.
bro. Dude. We're going to Tijuana, bro. Like I've been there twice. I have friends down there. It's a fucking dude, the highest murder rate in the world, but it's good.
Don't turn me off now. You know I'm a pussy out here. Let's big it up.
No, dude. It's a
Less
great
away
place
from the
to like.
kidnapping and murder.
No, it's a place
Talk
that's
about the
like.
drugs and the booty, and we can get back on track.
Well, it all ties together, you know. Like, and also, by the way,
You
dude,
can't have all
it's
good.
a 3-hour drive to the border, you know, south from LA. That's why I was like, if you're in Tijuana, you might want to. It's better to. I mean, honestly, if you're coming from New York, dude, it's better to fly to like Southern California, rent a car, and drive over the border than go through customs flying into Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's have a look at this video then.
Oh God.
Hang on a sec.
Ty said, "Bro, I have years of training on you. I wouldn't be able to tell, and I
All right, here we
genuinely
go.
doubt you ever stepped
Wait,
into
he
a
said
gym."
that to you?
Yeah, he just
Well,
said it in the chat.
before we hang on, let's just give Ty a fair shake here.
I mean, I've seen Frankie. It's like, I mean,
unbiased.
yeah.
No, Gio, let him be
Frankie,
unbiased.
no, dude, I've seen this
like
video.
5 years
I've been
ago.
where Frankie is, giving him a fair
Well,
shake.
I certainly
brought it up,
haven't.
so
So we're gonna give this a crack.
The blueprint is by me, Mr. Get Off. I get off at my feet. The blueprint is by me, Mr. Get Off. I get off at my feet.
I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't claim to be an expert out here. Yes, I've seen worse. Put it that way.
I mean,
worse.
I mean, I'm definitely
like,
not that flexible.
It's not. I mean, it's what makes it. See, it's not like, you know. It's not one of those like, you know. It's not a humiliation thing as much as it is just like in an actual. It's like that kick is like, okay. So the way that the foot that's on the ground while he throws the wheel kick, like, you know, it's like if he threw that wheel kick in an actual fight, someone would, you know, he could be rushed and taken to the ground. Like, you know, it's completely off balance.
Look at this movement right here. This is enough to knock him off balance and just put him on his butt.
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly about that. It's also about the fact that, like, the way that his foot, if he landed that somehow, the way that where his foot, the part of his foot that is supposed to connect, you know, he'd wind up probably breaking his heel. You know, just
I'm sorry, Ty Betts, you're role playing in the chat right now, bro. I hate fucking role players. Stop role playing like a boxer or a grappler. You post videos of shoes. You post videos of a Coors Light in a shoe that you just bought. You're not a grappler. You're not a boxer. You're a fucking kid that leaves comments in YouTube videos. You're a nut.
Oh, sorry. Is this genuine beef? I thought this was a joke. So I'm a bit behind here.
No,
well, I mean, Ty Betts. I mean, originally, like, I don't know how it happened originally. It was like some petty shit between Ty Betts and Anakin. So Anakin posted that video, and then Ty Betts got like, defensive kind of, about it, rather than just being like, yeah, bro, like that was years ago.
I
And
love
just,
I
like,
love the I love that Anakin's always at the center of everything these days. It's just funny to me.
I mean, dude, I
love it.
mean, but then
Anakin,
there's
you
the whole
dirty
thing that
legend.
happened with Anakin, where it's like, I don't know, and it's like, it's like I wind up in the middle of the shit because I get sent like screenshots of Anakin being like, I guess, exposed for, having claimed he was the fighter that he's now trying to get people to promote or whatever. I mean, like basically like months ago, this is allegedly, right, months ago. Anakin sent like a topology page implying that it was his, right? And then, like recently he's like, yo, this is my boy, like, he's about to make his professional debut, and it was the same topology page.
See, and I'm sorry, I just want to totally go off record or off topic. He
Off
said
topic. That's what we do around here.
he said real
I'm just
people
gonna
that
link.
train don't need to post shit. I understand where he's coming at with this, but I actually disagree in the context of the YouTube world where we live in, where everyone acts like a tough guy, everyone acts like a hard ass. I feel like if you claim that you train, I need to see a visual representation of it for me to believe it. Because frankly, especially like when you don't make content and you just type in a chat, like I need to see it backed up. I need to see a pair of gloves. I can't look at someone throwing heel kicks in their living room and then just believe that you're a grappler and a boxer. I need to see something as evidence. But that's just
I mean, to be fair, it's probably a step above what most people do in the chat. And again, I'm not shitting on anyone in the chat who just will, like, for example, let's use Clown Show as an example.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, I was
about
on Conjo
talk
recently,
about
and
being
I was saying
24.
like, you don't know
He'll
what
talk
most of
about
these
being
fucking people.
with some said he'll
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about 24-0 in the streets, and maybe he is, but like there's nothing to back that up, and that's where like
Dude,
the
dude, that's some Charlie Zelenoff
penis
shit.
comes from.
Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
silly.
900 and 0, like, yeah, I mean, street warriors, bro. But I mean, also it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, the whole fucking thing is stupid. It's like, but it's also like, I don't know. I don't come from like the internet, like keyboard warrior shit. So it's like, people is, oh, I'd
I
fuck you
think
up.
it's
It's
funny.
just
At
like,
the end of the day, it's all banter at the end. Well, most of the time it's banter at the end
I
of
mean,
the day.
but then it's like, occasionally it's like, all right, bro, it's like, you're actually talking to me like you want to fight. It's like, this is my gym, like fucking, you fight, like, here's my Instagram, right? You take a selfie in front of my gym, like you're gonna come fucking, I've had those like, interactions with fucking fuckhead trolls on live streams, but I don't know. I mean, regardless. I mean I think Paradox said we already have like 3 fights for that fucking YouTube card.
I mean, it's shaping up nicely.
I mean, yeah. See, Frankie,
I don't think it happening in the UK is very realistic, though. I think we'll have to bring the boys over.
No, yeah. I mean,
There's
yeah.
way more of you guys, like.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of UK fucks,
Yeah.
Frankie, how was Manila? How did that go for you? I'm sure you
It
probably
was
already
awesome.
recapped it, but
No, I haven't really recapped it. We did the live stream, as you know. It was kind of fun.
Yeah,
It was very low key, man. I like usually when I go out there, yeah, I get fucking drunk off my head, and then stupid shit happens.
Yeah, you were. Well, Frankie, see, I mean, you claim to have behaved yourself, bro. That's what you told. That's. I mean, you even told.
That's my
what.
official story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. I mean, but what we don't know about is like, when the live streams are off, and
Well, I'm not pushing it.
or even what was going on in your bathroom on your very panel with me and Good Noodle when you had the lights off and we heard noises, and I don't think it's out of the.
I can't designate for your overactive imagination. It was just I was just charging my
No,
laptop.
I mean, I heard sounds that, I don't think it's too far of a stretch of the imagination to assume that you were scraping like, cocaine residue out of the, in between your laptop keys.
I would love to have been that interested. I've never done cocaine in my life. I'm not saying it's off the table or anything, but
Frankie. In your life.
I've never done. I swear to God, I've never done it.
yeah, I'll be right back. 1 second.
No worries, bro. I've been like MDMA bombed, I think, a couple of times, but I've never willingly done Class A
You've been
drugs.
MDMA bombed, like so you were just a
Bombed, yeah.
victim of somebody
Victim,
spiking
yeah.
your
I was
shit
an
with
innocent
MDMA.
victim, yeah.
Word,
An
word.
innocent
Okay.
victim. I've got
Okay,
friends
no,
like that, innit?
right. No, totally. You've never, never.
No, I've never done Class A drugs. I would admit to it. If I mean, I pretty much admit everything. I don't really give a fuck, but I've never done cocaine.
You
I
ever do
figure one day. I
THC?
think no, I've never. The only thing I've ever done like knowingly is weed.
You never dropped acid, Frankie. Never did mushrooms.
No, never.
Right,
But I'm
I got
saying,
you.
but I've talked about this on stream a few times. I'm definitely on doing stuff like that at some point because I want to try stuff. I'm not,
Bro, where like
you know.
go to Tijuana, we're gonna drop top shelf acid. I will kid in front of you.
No,
Like
what
I
I'm gonna
talked
do
about
is
this on panels.
I'm gonna bring my boy out as well. The guy who I happen to know is like an
Yeah.
expert. And
You were telling me, yeah.
I think you two will get along famously.
Yeah, no, it's very much. And also, I mean, I have friends in Tijuana, which is a good thing to fucking have because you want people that live there, given
Oh,
it
100%. Yeah. And this guy's a pro. Like he's just around.
yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, honestly, that sounds
So
fucking dope.
I mean, I'd love to analyze the kick, but like I don't really know what else to say. All I would say
Well,
is
I
I'm not
mean,
that flexible, and I certainly couldn't pull something like that off. So me
Frankie,
shitting on
like,
somebody's technique would be a bit disingenuous.
I mean,
I,
I mean, you could, yeah, but
are
like,
you are
I mean,
you
dude,
are you working on this handstand? By the way, you actually gonna follow through with that? Because I reckon
I
you're
mean,
pretty close.
I mean, he didn't want to bet me. I mean, he didn't want to like, double down on it. But I said, give me a week. And I mean, so we could start the 7 days at any point. Like, if he wants to take me up with that, like, I mean, dude, like, of course, like, yeah, I would spend as much time that I would
But
allocate
you would
as much
practice that
time.
shit.
Yeah, and I would fucking, of course, I would do it. Like, I mean, it's. I mean, it's like I got roped into. We didn't have a bet on, whether or not I could do it on, the first time. You know, like if there's money down, bro, it's like I'm gonna. Someone said do a hand.
Was it brutally Hugh? Was it you
No, it's
brutally who
me. I
won?
didn't go white. I didn't go white, dude. I fucking no. I fucking sucked it up and fucking attempted it. I knew, and I said I was like, dude, there's that. I was in my studio, not my other apartment. I'm like, there's barely enough room to like go up the wall to even get to like. I'm fucking tall as fuck. Relatively. My arms are even longer than they should be for my
No,
height.
fair
Like,
play to you for giving it a go with like no practice. I respect
yeah,
that.
I'm not, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's like I knew I was about to
Shout
humiliate
out,
myself.
shout out to Brutally as well for getting you to do it as well. That's props to him as well for
Yeah,
props
can
all
you
round.
imagine? See, yeah. So, anyway, though, bro, like,
I want to ask a question to Frankie real quick. I'm sorry, unless you had an important thing to say. What were the prices of things down there in Manila? I don't know if we segued away. I had to step away. But how much is like a drink down there? What was it like?
It's all right. It depends on like I used to go there like 15 years ago, yeah, and it was like dirt cheap, like
yeah,
if you went out there with like $500 here, you could have yourself a good 2 weeks without holding
I was
back.
literally thinking that I'm about to check the exchange rate.
No,
But
it's
sorry.
relatively expensive now. Like getting taxis around and stuff is pretty cheap. Food there's cheap. Alcohol, I would say, I would probably go about, I would say maybe 60% of what you'd pay in America or in the UK, something like that, which is ridiculous compared to what it used to be.
No
But
way.
it depends on how you drink when you go to a bar. So if you're going there and buying bottles,
Yeah, bottle service is always gonna.
you're paying $120 or $140 or whatever the fuck it is for a bottle of whiskey or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, but compare that to bottle
Yeah,
service
that's to
anywhere.
America. It's probably mad, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I mean,
it's
or
probably less
even
than 60%.
yeah, definitely. I mean, dude, bottle service, depending on like the club you go to, and in Europe too. It's like, I mean, you're
But
spending
the
four
difference
figures.
is, the vibe is completely. You obviously get people there that are a lot more friendly. They're a lot more just like, I don't know, they're a lot more into kind of like socializing and stuff. Whereas I don't know what it's like in America these days, but certainly in the UK, people just aren't friendly anymore. You can't just go out
I
and
mean
just
that's that's a cultural thing, but you can break through that, dude, quite easily. I think. I
yeah.
mean, you just have to. You just have to.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that for ugly white women. I'm sorry, I'm just not on it.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, but you got an Asian fetish, bro. I mean, do it for
Plague,
the-
Asian plague. That's how I
yeah,
yellow plague. That's how I'd refer to that, sir.
right,
I'm
of
shit.
course.
I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. Everyone knows me for this. It's
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm not trying to, dude. I'm not trying to shame you. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I mean, you'll take a dumpy Asian woman over a dumpy white woman, or a hot Asian woman over a hot white woman. You
okay.
know, it's like a question of how far out of your way you'll go.
To answer your question, it's a lot cheaper and the vibe's a lot better. I'd say for sure.
I see. You silly said, does Ty and OC have beef? Ty, we don't have beef. It's not beef, bro.
We're just trying to sell the fight.
You did trigger me when you called my bag work. No, this is honestly what happened. You said my bag work was sloppy, and that's why you would accept a fight with me. And it just triggered me that you said that because you have genuinely the word. Like that kick is awful. Like it's just objectively awful. So when I saw you say that, I was like, how is the guy with the objectively bad kick going to critique me? So that triggered me. And I genuinely, no beef, but I do genuinely think I'd give you a really hard time if we ever stepped in any ring. I'd probably whoop you pretty bad. And that's just how I feel. But there's no beef, dead ass.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I just think like, yeah, I mean, I heard something about that, and like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't think, I think beefs are corny and stupid at the same time. It's
Yeah.
like,
No
it's like,
YouTube
I mean,
beef is really
why is he
real.
opening his mouth? Why, I mean, dude just started Muay Thai, like, he's putting footage up right away, and like, Thai,
And fair play to you for that. Like I think fair play to anyone who isn't just talking about it. They're
yeah,
they're getting out there, they're training, they're putting stuff. I got maximum respect for that. I'm not gonna shit on anyone who does that.
yeah, of
Hands
course,
down.
Especially if there's footage that's made the rounds of your like fight ability and shit.
Frankie, I see
Dude,
you
man,
have.
okay,
So
sorry, go
Go ahead.
I see you have the 3D headset in the background. Which model is that exactly, and how is it?
Oh, it's a Meta Quest 3. To be honest, I'm one of those people. Yeah, I impulse buy things. So
Dude,
I had another
do.
headset. I had another
Yeah, you
headset
do.
that was. We'll get into that impulse buy a little bit later.
Yeah, you impulse buy.
I had another headset that I bought like 2 years ago, and I wanted it for like weeks, and I was like, you know what, and I bought it, and I used it like a couple times to play like Half-Life Alyx on, and then I never touched it again. And then this one came
Frankie,
about, and I'm like, doesn't have a wire, so I'm like, maybe that's why I don't play with the other one. And then I've picked it up like twice, mate. But from what I've played with it, it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Dude, I have the same impulse like buying problem, and it took all my willpower not to impulsively buy one because I'm a gadget nerd too. I like shit like that, but I just risky purchase.
The thing is, yeah, I'll tell you something. Yeah, there's a
Hold on, let Gio say
VR
something because he's dying to say it. He got cut off.
no, I was just gonna say, like, Frankie impulse buys on human beings sometimes in Southeast Asia even.
This has never been proven. Though. I mean, you've seen. Here's the thing, Gilly. I don't need to buy humans.
No. I was actually
anymore.
I bet no, yeah, for sure. No, I was gonna say, like, I have a bunch of shit, like a bunch of shit that I've just been too lazy and whatever to set up. Like, I mean, like, I have 2 Yeti mics and like a stand like kind of similar to the one Orange Cat has right there.
Mm-hmm.
I have a new phone with like a audio attachment thing. Like, I have all the shit and I just like
don't use it.
I really need to do it. So people,
it's like I said, I've got all these games behind me. I've played like less than 1% of them. I've just got issues where I just buy stuff that I don't want or need, and just once I've got it, I just stick it away and then I don't fuck with it again.
All those shelves behind you are filled with video games.
Is that all the red ones are Switch games. I've got like a collection of stuff.
Yeah, right, dude. It's baffling. But yo, Frankie, if you bet on Gary, you know, you can cover the losses with selling off some of those games. Yeah.
I don't bet on those levels. It's like I said, it's like when you try to draw me into like a get
Dude,
your
Lane
destiny
and
if
I,
you lose this fight.
Lane
I'm
and
like,
I
bro, I
almost
don't
had you, bro. We almost had you.
almost had you on what?
We almost had when you were saying that in that WhatsApp group, like Lane and I almost had you drawn into that one bet.
What to
That's why
Gary and Prates?
I forget what the bet was on, but it was something, and like, you know, but yeah,
I'll bet money all day long, but I'm not betting for like a tattoo, a forehead tattoo or whatever. I'm not a complete mong. Do you know what I mean?
it was a tramp stamp, I think,
Oh, a tramp stamp.
to be specific.
I mean, it wouldn't be
No,
my
yeah, that
my first or my last, but that is what that is.
yo, I just like this card though, like I do like, you know, like there's I feel like, you know, it's you know, there's a lot of there's maybe like 3 or 4 fights that are questioned, and the rest are pretty open and shut. I mean, you know, I mean, Damon Blackshear definitely wins. I mean, as crazy as this is, Match now definitely beats Jimmy Flick. Anarim beats you know, my sweetheart Pollyanna Viana. You know, um, Roberto Romero probably beats Rwamba, and then Evan Elder already has a new opponent.
Who has?
Evan Elder, his original opponent got I think he went to he got fucking pinched and locked up.
Say what he got locked up for.
I think what was it? Was it drugs or someone?
Nonsense.
Someone said it was like someone said he was a pedophile.
Yeah,
What
he
is-
got.
yeah,
pedo. I don't mind saying it on this channel, Cap. You know, I'm not monetized. We can talk about
yeah, yeah.
pedos. I'm not bothered.
I mean, yeah. Why would you not? I mean, was it just that? I heard something about drugs too, but
Maybe that was
was
the tip of the iceberg.
right. Well, anyway, his new opponent. I mean, in terms of like actual fighting ability, his new opponent is slightly worse than the pedophile.
I'll be honest, I don't even know who this guy is.
He's got an 0-1 record professionally.
Oh dear.
Wait, who are you talking about?
This dude, Gage Young, Evan Elder's replacement.
Yeah, he's 9-2, but he's 9
Evan
and 2.
Elder's actually all right as well. He's not terrible.
He's beast. This guy Gage Young lost his Contender Series fight to Salkild, who went on to humiliate Dubly. But and then after that he had he had a second round knockout in FAC in Fighting Alliance Championship, which is a like very minor regional promotion, and and that was over an 0-0 opponent. Like he's never fought anybody that I don't think he's fought a single person that had a win. He fought an 0-3 opponent. Salkild was his only, formidable opponent. He lost that fight. I mean, he went the distance, but I mean, Evan Elder's like been in the octagon. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and also I think I'm the one fucking bitch fight, or there's two. Anarim versus Pollyanna Viana is actually going to be like a there's a
Just a quick
problem.
side question, yeah. I think we've touched upon this before, yeah. Did Pollyanna Viana first and after Alex Pereira's dong, yeah, make her more or less hot in your eyes?
Dude, like I mean, I mean, dude, it's like if you're gonna throw morality at things, man. I mean, like
I'm not talking about morality. It was a simple. Let's not bring morality into this. It was a very simple question.
What was
I'm sorry. Sorry.
After Pollyanna Viana got dicked down by Alex Pereira, she was like basically like, I don't want to go as far as to say stalking him, but she was kind of like,
she posted a lot of things
publicly
on
making
social
it
media.
known that she'd been smashed. She had a lot of him and chasing him a little bit. And to me, I was a bit like, I mean, I thought she was reasonably hot before, but for me, I was kind of like, kind of made her a
her
little bit
stock,
hot to me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
her stock rose. You're
I like
saying?
women that get that. Yeah, her stock rose a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
Not in a way that matters. It's more just like kind of made me want to fuck her even more. I'm not gonna lie.
word.
I'm not
Okay,
gonna lie.
so I'll say this, right? Like, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in a relationship with a girl that anytime you go to the beach or you do anything, like, he wants pictures and all that shit.
I've discussed my stance on dating and taking women to public places, but we can get into that at any time you want. But just
No, yeah, right. Well, I mean, regardless, right?
I don't do
Alex
that.
Pereira. I mean, does Alex Pereira strike you as the guy who's like, who feels like he feels the need to micromanage social media? Probably not.
I
Right?
figure when he interacts with women, there's like a translator there for the entire experience, and he's just like.
I mean, that's what that bitch from New Jersey who lied about him raping her, fucking, all
I
he
mean,
said was,
he definitely gave her the old
bro.
sausage, but I'm sure it was
Bro,
purely consensual. You know what I mean?
no, dude. Her friend came out and said that like it's literally impossible from a geographical standpoint that this should never happen. Like the bitch with the OnlyFans, you remember what I'm talking about?
I remember that. What was her name again? I made a short about that, just
What was it?
making fun of the whole
Trying to
situation. I can't
trying
remember.
to subscribe to OF. I don't remember.
I got like a solid 10 subscribers from that mess, so I was very grateful for the whole.
Oh, from that, from your video on it. Bro, the funniest part of that, knowing that she made the whole thing up, is when she did the whole like face of the camera like recounting of the shit, and she was just lying. All he said was "Shama," like
No,
it's just like
the most beautiful thing about her was like she kind of like
the most
incriminated him
beautiful.
and then unincriminated him, then incriminated herself, all in that one very short
The,
2-minute video that she made. It was
the,
beautiful to watch.
I
He
mean,
didn't
it
even have
was
to say anything. He did the right thing by just saying nothing because she like,
Now,
totally.
what
Her
should the
and then
legal
her
repercussions be for that when a woman throws a claim
well,
like that?
there are. I
I
mean,
think
he
they
could
should go
sue
to
her.
jail.
No, because what she didn't do, there would be, if she had filed a police report for rape, then she would be in prison for filing a false police report. Otherwise, he could sue her. He could sue her for libel, for character defamation of character. But he just didn't give a fuck because it was so high.
Right.
It's she just self-destructed anyway. Anita Ali.
I need a payout. That's
Yeah, I need a payout.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was gross
Why
as
did he
well.
put
To
an
be
L?
honest. That was the more disappointing thing for me. I was like, she's not even anything. She's like, so she's like a.
Yo, Frank, you dude, you throw a bat in it. You would.
No, I mean of course. I'm not. Let's not be silly. Let's not be silly. Of course I would.
Yeah, of
I don't
course.
have to find a woman attractive to throw at one. Let's not get fucking
Which
ridiculous.
is now the real question though, Frankie,
What are you talking about?
her fat friend who like outed her and brought the whole scheme down. Would you throw a bat in the friend though?
I can't remember what she looks like off the top, but I'm gonna assume yes. I'm just gonna assume yes.
Right.
Bro, you'd have to work really hard to not get me to throw you one.
What
Just being
about
honest.
word, of course. What about Jacqueline Anarim, Frank?
Yes, I'm not. I can't remember her for the top, but I'm gonna assume yes.
I mean, yeah, you're about to see her you're about to see her like, pretzel up fucking Pollyanna. I mean, does something about the dominance of that do anything for you? Or?
I mean, I'm not kinky like that. I'm just,
Right. Interesting.
it's holes in it. It's just a bunch of holes, mate. It's not that complicated.
Nah, I feel it, dude. I feel you, dude. I mean, I got you, dude. Like, I mean, me too, dude. I'm broken.
I sound fucked up right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that bad. I mean, I'm talking hypothetically here. Of course, this is.
Well, yeah. I mean, Frankie, I don't think you're fucking like,
Meredith. That was her name. Meredith.
Yeah.
Her name was Meredith. Yeah, that was it.
Meredith what?
Thank you, chat. I can always depend on chat to get the facts under control.
And what about the lady that said McGregor told her like she's gonna feel what what Habib made me feel?
I'm not gay, bro. I'm not gay. Let's just clarify. That was a dude. Did you see the size of her face?
No,
Bro,
I didn't.
Bro,
That was the most disappointing thing about the whole thing.
yeah,
It wasn't
Frankie's
just the
right.
fact that did or didn't do it. It's like
Bro,
you
that was
had
a
this woman in
handsome
this
woman. She
situation.
was a handsome woman. Frankie's right.
Yeah, she had a very broad face.
She had a steam
my
shovel
type.
jaw. Steam shovel jaw, dude. It's where, yeah.
Yeah, she was horrible.
Does Conor
more the thing.
McGregor return to the octagon?
No,
Never.
no, he doesn't
Never.
ever.
Mate, I said this about 4 years ago, and I didn't even feel like I was being smart about it. I was like, as soon as he broke his leg, I was like, this is over. He's not coming back. And mind you, I'm not even criticizing the guy. I mean, there's a lot of things to criticize him for now. I'm obviously an Irishman. I try to give him back as much as I can.
Yeah,
I would not fight if I was in his position either. I wouldn't.
I mean,
What's the point?
yeah, he doesn't need to. No, but would you show your ass in the Roadhouse remake? Probably, right? Yeah, the fucking Roadhouse.
He showed his ass in the Roadhouse. I haven't
the
seen that
first
movie.
scene he's in, bro.
I haven't seen it.
I mean, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's thrown on for shits and giggles, bro. It's hysterical. There's a part where Jake Gyllenhaal gets stabbed in the stomach and just doesn't flinch or react and still beats the guy out. Like, it's as ridiculous as the original movie.
It seemed very, I don't know. It seemed, I didn't want to, I knew I'd just be cringing my way through it. So I just,
yeah, but it's like, it's one of those movies that's like, I mean, it's not like on, it's like, it's
not unwatchable. It's just not good.
Yeah, exactly. It's a laugh, dude. It's a laugh. Like, have like a couple of your friends over.
I can subscribe to that.
All right, hold on. I'm sorry. I just got to interrupt because there's one last question from Ty Betts. OC, have you ever been in a fight or sparred? So that genuinely, I thought you at least knew what's up, bro. I thought you at least knew. So you talked all this shit without even knowing anything about me. You're a fucking lame. And I'm not going to answer that question. So on to the next one. Sorry.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Respect for handling that.
I haven't been in a fight in years.
Dog,
I can't be fucked, mate. Like, I'm honestly, I'm of the old man got kids thing now. I'm just like, I can't be bothered.
I mean, yeah. I mean, sparring in Muay Thai. I mean, I
haven't sparred in years. I haven't done anything in years. I've just
no. That's. I mean, I'm just saying. It's like the distinction between like like you find yourself in less street fights.
Frankie, did you see any like street fights, like drunken tourists down there in Manila causing ruckuses?
It happens all the time. It happens all the time, and they
get
The thing is, locals don't fuck around, man. Usually when those it's worse in Thailand because people go there, they act a big nut,
right?
And then the locals just turn on you and beat the shit because police there, they don't fuck around.
Yeah, yo, Frankie, you remember I told you
what happened? They're just they're landed shit and fucking you up.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie, you remember I told you about my friend who got he wound up spending 13 months in prison there, writing letters to the embassy.
That shit will change you. You don't want to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. American he was.
Bad, bro. Fuck that.
Yeah, bro. He was. Yeah,
I'll make a mouse out of any man.
I mean, yo, so fucking. There's 2 bitch fights on this card. I mean, WMMA fights. I don't mind Anderin versus Viana because that's a finish. That's a finish potential fight. Jocelyn Edwards versus Chelsea Chandler. They're 2 bantamweights that both egregiously missed weight in their last fights. Like both of them did. I mean, Jocelyn Edwards is almost certainly gonna win. Like probably 30-27. I mean, I think that's gonna be the first fight if they don't make Evan Elder, the first one. So it's like honestly, this card after the first fight, it's like it's all good shit. Seems like
I'm surprised Chelsea Chandler got another fight after running away and I don't know what fight she did that in, but
yeah, she missed weight and then looked fucking terrible.
She's always using periods as an excuse as well, and she's like, apparently that's her excuse.
Has she done that more than once?
A few times, yeah.
Really?
Because I remember talking about it with Jackson making the walk quite a bit, and he was like, "Yeah, apparently she's got issues with like the weight cutting with she gets like period issues and stuff, and I'm
Bro,
like, it's a weird one, innit?
she missed weight by 5 pounds, and that's at that's not counting the extra pound of bantamweight in her last fight. Yeah, she weighed
That's a lot.
141.
That's
I
significant.
mean, yeah, Jocelyn Edwards was 139 too. I mean, both of them are. Jocelyn Edwards got a sub, in her last fight, and that's a pretty easy. Roberto Romero.
I do like to shit on women's MMA as much as I can, but like, to be fair,
Bro, there's been a
they've
fair
kind of been
amount of
stepping up.
finishes.
They
There's been
kind
a
of
fair
been
amount of
stepping up a little bit,
finishes,
mate.
bro.
You've got to give credit where it's due, innit?
Dude, Nora Cornell got the fucking finish.
Quick question:
Like,
Juliana Pena or Kayla Harrison?
You mean?
I
Oh, you mean?
mean,
Sorry, just to clarify.
In their
who's gonna
title
win?
match, who do you have winning their
All right, that was a scary question there, bro.
title?
yeah, word.
And who would you rather?
Here's the thing, yeah. I think Kayla Harrison is way better than her. Like, Juliana Pena is a horrible fighter, but
well,
she
Frankie,
sticks
so
around. She sticks
dude,
around is the problem that I've got.
yeah. I was gonna say, dude,
She
don't
sticks
forget
in
the
there.
first.
So it's
Don't
not a
forget the
foregone
first.
conclusion.
Don't forget she subbed Amanda Nunez, and then the rematch,
I mean,
she
I
almost
don't count that
armbarred.
really. I don't count that. In the second
Dude,
fight, that's
the
one of the
second,
worst
the second fight was a war, bro. The second fight was a war.
It wasn't a war. It was one person beating the shit out of
No,
another person in 5
dude.
minutes.
Do you know how many times? No, Juliana Pena had in the rematch, dude. It was a 5-round rematch. She almost armbarred her at least 4 times.
She beat the shit out of that girl.
Dude, she was just getting repeatedly dropped, wasn't she? And just kept getting.
There are
back
memes
up.
about
Yeah,
this.
but she locked up so many close. Like, anyway, the point is,
the damage that was done in that fight was all.
Yeah, dude, there was blood everywhere, dude. It was fucking
different human.
It looked like Chelsea Chandler just fucking just fucking undressed in the middle of the octagon. There's so much blood. But fucking no, seriously, if I'm not wrong, if you disagree, tell me. But Kayla Harrison, though she did beat Kylan Vieira, in her last fight, got a little. Huh?
She made hard work of Ketlin Vieira.
She got it a little bit exposed on the ground, though. No.
I think what's going to happen is I think Kayla Harrison's going to beat the shit out of her for the first 2.5 rounds, and then it's going to get sloppy. And then
I think Pena. So this might be kind of a ridiculous analogy, but like stick with me, right? You remember the first Brock Lesnar Frank Mir fight? Yo, I'm yapping, Anakin. Sorry, bro. Like, dude, go back to clipping fucking clown show footage, bro. Like hit the bricks, buddy. Or clipping footage of me, dude. How many fucking short videos have you farmed off of content of mine? God. Like, I mean, I like you, dude. Why do you have to start with me? But anyway, no, I'm just saying that, you remember how fucking Frank Mir locked up, he whipped around and submitted Brock Lesnar, when it just looked like, it's just going to be a ground and pound finish. Like, it's like if there's a female version of it.
I don't think Pena's I don't think she's going to sub her. I just think, I think that she's going to get, it's going to be the Homer versus, what's his face in Simpsons?
Homer Simpson.
And the other one. When the guy just beats the shit out of him for the entire fight and gets tired and puffs himself out. I think that's what's going to happen with Kayla. I think Kayla's going to batter her for 2 rounds. But then,
possibly. You know why? Like, it doesn't matter in the scheme of things. They're both just whoever wins is just keeping the belt warm for Macy Chasson, bro. Macy Chasson.
Are you serious?
I would say, maybe, yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, I get watch Macy Chasson become bantamweight champion.
No, absolutely not.
Bro,
this is one of the wildest things you've ever said, and that's saying something.
Do you remember Mayra Bueno Silva's head?
Mayra Bueno Silva's fucking shit, though, bro.
I mean, yeah, after that fight,
she lost to fucking. She made
Raquel Pennington.
Raquel Pennington looked like a legit champion that night.
I mean, she was winning until she wasn't, which is weird, actually. But also, Macy Chasten's a fucking animal, dude. She's the real, like...
Kayla Harrison, when she gets acclimatized to cutting that weight regularly, no one's going to be able to deal with her.
Yeah, I disagree. I think
female.
Macy Chasten's 5'11", bro. I think, but, whatever.
Maybe you're right. If she gets there. If she gets there.
Dude, the last WMMA thing I'm gonna bring up. What do you think about Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot?
I think Shevchenko is gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a tough one. I think Fiorot's good, but I don't think she's well rounded enough to deal with Shevchenko.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that she relies on her size too much. I mean, that was how she beat Erin Blanchard.
And she's French, which is also a problem, to be honest.
Really?
It doesn't help.
You know what though? Canadian women, not Canadian men are just like always bet against the Canadian men, but Canadian women, Jillian Robertson and Jasmine, right? Jasmine Judavicius. Like, do you remember the fucking
I quite like
first...
Judavicius. I think she's all right. I think she's pretty
good.
Bro.
I had her beating Mayra Bonasova, and
it's Macy. I'm sorry, we have to rewind for a second. That Macy Chiasson take was fucking bananas, mate. You've got some explaining to do.
Do I?
I can't just let that
slide. That is a horrible take. Look at. I mean, you could tell me that Mayra Bonasova is shit, bro. She's not that shit to where Macy Jasmine took her to the ground and like her brain was visible from the fucking cut. And she went over to like Joe Rogan and Dana White, and they were like trying to like, don't get blood on me. She was like, no, I'm good. Like no, you need to go to the fucking hospital. Like, Macy Chasten is, she's very violent, which is like, I mean, it's like you look for justifications for WMMA, and it's like, of the sparse ones.
It's such a random thing for you to say. It's like you've been keeping that in the back pocket, just waiting to pull it out for a while now. I don't know.
No, because it's like fucking women's bantamweight. It's like, oh, Kayla Harrison's gonna be. It's like, yeah, Macy Chasten will probably fucking.
We've had Juliana Pena, who let's be fair to her, is dog shit. She's won the belt twice. I mean, we don't even need to talk about women's bantamweight. Really, this should be a
no. Well, I mean, that's why that's why bringing Kayla Harrison was such like a thing for the fucking UFC.
I can't believe she even made that. She can make that weight. I was surprised when she first did
Kayla,
that.
yeah.
And real quick in the chat, Sass said Pena is literally keeping the UFC alive with her trash talk.
That was
I low-key feel
I mean, she really
It's bad that she passes for entertainment these days. It's really bad.
Did you see the press conference for 15 or 16?
Yeah, I mean,
you mean
with
the Morab
and
okay, they were the most entertaining aspect of it for sure.
Yeah,
Morab and Umar. Yeah,
I like Kayla as well. Like I like Kayla. I think she's actually. I was one of the people who, when this whole thing was announced, I said she was going to make the weight, and I said she was going to do really well.
Yeah, I mean, I had her to beat Kellen Vieira. Definitely to beat what's her name that she fought on.
Destroy Holly Holm. I said she'd destroy.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not that much of a great take, but it was more on the weight side of it. I said she'd make it.
Yeah, I mean,
she always looked too big at PFL. She looked.
I remember people were convinced that she wouldn't make weight. It's just like, no, she's on this card. Obviously,
she wouldn't have done it. She wouldn't have done it. She wouldn't have signed up for it if she thought she couldn't make it. She's professional. She wouldn't have done it. I was definitely an advocate for her in that side. Yeah.
So, all right. So, you really think Ian Gary's gonna win?
Yes.
Gio, I think you're downplaying him a lot, man. Like, I know you're downplaying his grappling.
I've had Ian Gary. Aside from the Shavkat fight, I picked Ian Gary in every fight he's been in. In the UFC.
Yeah.
Now, if Prates knocks it, if Prates catches him on the chin, am I going to be surprised? No. We've seen him get wobbled by Song Kanan and have. I just think Ian Gary is a lot better than people give him credit for.
Piston,
And I
dude.
think Prates is very unproven.
I've said that about Ian Gary a lot, but I mean, or Prates hits him with a piston kick to the body and fucking, I mean, and he out grapples and he's gonna be able to out grapple him too. What?
I think Gary gets better every time he goes in there. Is he more exciting every time he goes in there? No, but
he knows how to win. He knows how to fight to win.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing is like Carlos Prates is not a guy that you can point fight against, dude. And neither is Shawcott unless he got torn MCL like he did.
I think it's too early to say that though, because Prates has faced a Magny who's, let's face it, has been over the hill for a long time. And who else did he beat?
Prates?
Oh, fucking poor Li Jing Liang.
Yeah,
who hadn't been in there for 2 years.
that's honestly that's a good win, bro.
It's a good win, but it's circumstantial as well. Like, he hadn't fought for 2 years.
The only person that Gary has a win over, that makes his record slightly more impressive is Jeff Neal, and he barely won. I mean,
and Jeff Neal does blow hot and cold as well. I think the Shavkat loss, if anything, like shows that he deserves to be in that top in that upper echelon.
Dude, without a serious injury that Shavkat had, that people don't want to regard. I mean, sometimes that shit just really is the truth, right? I mean, but I mean, yeah. I mean, you say it's too early to tell. I mean, but we are going into this fight night. Got to make a decision.
It's gonna be hands down the hardest fight he's ever had. Hands down. It's not even gonna
be sure.
Debatable.
I don't. I mean, I don't. Be that as it may, bro.
I don't think these fighting nerds are gonna sweep the year. I think Gene.
Do you think? Let me ask you a question, Frankie. Do you think that when Aspinall fought Pavlovich, that was the hardest fight up to that point in his career?
For Aspinall, yeah. It's a different situation. And again, it was a 2-week short notice fight coming off the couch. Different situation.
Regardless, I mean,
in heavyweight, you know what the rules are there. If it's basically
sure. I mean, I mean, how do I say it? It's like, do you think that
obviously you can't say someone's not good until they've proven it. I get what you're saying. It's not that he hasn't. You have to let them fight the competition to say that. But that's more where I was coming from. I was like, you're acting like, wow, this is going to be a.
I'm not acting like
when you first started. You were no. I have to admit, you've humbled yourself a little bit recently in terms of the matchup, because at the very beginning you were like, Prates destroys him. This is going to be a fucking.
Well, I mean,
brain dead for.
I'm speaking in hyperbole, dude. I'm not. I don't even think like.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm. I just because it's like, I mean, people. I mean, people think that like Prates is gonna just allow Ian Gary to do what they. It's like anybody I've asked, like, tell me how Ian Gary, tell me how you see the fight for Ian Gary. It's like, oh well, he avoids it, like, brutally when he's like, oh well, he avoids him for the first couple of rounds. It's like, well, Carlos Prates does what? Gary just fucking just avoids and avoids and avoids until what? Like, I mean, Carlos Prates. No, you got Carlos Prates fucking. Trying to fucking, trying to put you to sleep, with strikes, bro. And like, if you grab him, try to take him to the ground, bro, he's gonna reverse that shit because he's a better guy. He is a better grappler. Now you could say that's unproven, but I mean, look at the years and years of experience versus Gary. Ian Gary is really just like 3 years of dedicated grappling. Like, I mean, I don't even know.
I think it's certainly, like, you can make arguments for both guys, is what I'm saying. I can see it going, and I tend to favor it as the longer the fight goes, I favor Gary, who's got, in my opinion, a very high fight IQ. He's done 5 rounds. He's fought better competition.
I don't know about his. I think his fight IQ is a bit overrated. I mean, if his fight IQ,
adapts a lot in there. He adapts a lot in there. He's.
I mean, bro. I mean, the second round again
mixes things up.
The second round against MVP was a fucking was shit fight IQ. Like,
yeah, but I mean, the thing is, but again, MVP is a very difficult person to deal with the way that he handles range and just he will throw minimal strikes in a round and just wait till his moment.
Gary had him
Gary
scared
grabbed
for
him
his
and
life in the first round. He had him scared for his life, and he
again, so
decided
that for me is a fight IQ thing. You work out
right, yeah.
all
But
right,
then
fuck, it's the same level.
well, think about this though, right? You get a guy to the ground, you realize he's helpless, you know, on the ground against you. So you spend the entire second round not even attempting to take him back to the ground. And now it's 1-1 going into
No,
the
but you
third.
probably again, it's very difficult. You know, I mean, we've all sparred, we've all done like that, done stuff like that ourselves. Like we know that it's very different being in there, and quite clearly,
No, yeah. But what I'm
sometimes the
saying is
opportunity just doesn't present itself, and maybe you know his opponent
you have to
obviously
make those
was going for that.
opportunities, dude. Because in the third round he made the opportunity knowing he was 1-1 going into the third.
No, but that's exactly why it was a high IQ moment, because he does it in the first round. He's MVP is probably
He
expecting it
should
in
have
the second round. He doesn't get it, and he
Gary,
lets his guard down in the third and gets caught again, and that's part of understanding
right.
the whole.
I mean, yeah, and I mean that's figuring out how to not lose when you fuck the
And
second
this is
round
what
up. But like,
This is what Orange Cat was saying earlier on about Gary's like ability to kind of like, I don't know, to win. He does what he needs to do to win, and that's why I quite like him based on the tangibles that we know about him and the very little that we know about Prates and when he faces adversity.
have you
I
watched
feel like Gary's got more tangibles that you can look towards.
have you watched any of Pratis' regional fights?
Nah, I haven't. Not recent. Well, no, like I would have watched them before his first fight, but I haven't watched. I've only looked at his UFC stuff since, because once they're in the UFC, I kind of just focus on the here and now.
I
Because I made
mean,
the same mistake with Gene Silva,
well,
like looking at his fucking grappling, and it turns out he's an absolute fucking monster.
wait, who?
So he tricked me,
John Silva.
John Silva. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that's
He
what I'm
gets taken
saying.
down easily.
Yeah,
No,
you're gonna. That's it,
absolute
Frankie.
savage.
That's what I've been saying, and like that's my point. If you watch some regional fights of Carlos Prates, you'll see that on the ground, bro, he's beyond no joke, dude. Like, I mean, you know, Gary's not out grappling him, far from it. Like, you know,
Gio,
I'm not
and
necessarily. I think you're saying that that's what I'm saying. Gary's avenue to win is that he's going to grapple him. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
no,
he's
I just think that
playing well.
like, yeah, I mean, he doesn't beat him on the feet. He's not gonna be able to point fight and just somehow outstrike Carlos Prates, you know, and just wear him out. You know, it's just like, I mean, that's a fantasy. Like, if you know, if you were outstriking him somehow, which you know might happen because Carlos Prates doesn't necessarily throw a lot of strikes. Like, you know, he'll time one that'll kill him. Like, you shut up, really. But yeah, oh my god, he tapped his strikes. But like, all right, listen. Like, so when Carlos Prates wins, okay, like Anakin brutally, right? Like, how about this? How about you guys fucking suck my dick? All right, not literally, but like, you know, just kiss the ring, bro. Like, I mean, you tapped the strikes. It's like, okay, repeat the headline of a fucking bloody elbow article. Like, great analysis, man.
No,
Like,
I do think that's an L take, calling him a quitter, especially coming from Gary. And I know
dude, that's you mean coming from Layla, by the way. I mean,
true.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Oliveira, who you know is many people's goats. I love that guy. Who did he fight when he gave up in the ring? I keep forgetting who he was fighting against, but Oliveira did the same thing that
Was it
Prates did in
the
the octagon.
esophagus one? I think it might have been Holloway, wasn't it? The
It
esophagus.
was
Paradox is retarded. Look, like I have to agree with Lane because I've watched Prates' regional fights, and Paradox, yeah, he was piecing him up. No, he was landing it like completely, like, yeah, he outstruck him, and so you could say that he technically won the first round because Prates was just like, all right, this guy can't possibly hurt me, so I'm gonna just wait till I see him. Oh, there it is, bang, like in the second round. That's how that fight went. There was like Prates was never in any kind of actual danger from Trevor Giles. It was fucking completely retarded tape.
All right, quick question for both of you, because I heard Frankie make a comment. I believe he said like the fight nerds won't sweep the year. So this is for both of you guys. Frankie, you can start. Who do you see as being the first? I mean, I guess there's a chronological factor in this, but since like John Silva just fought, for example, but who do
Yeah.
you think will be the first fighting nerd to
I think
lose?
it's gonna be Cal, because
Yeah.
I think Huffy will get 1 or 2 more layups. I think Gene Silver will get another beatable opponent.
Well, Gene
Prates
Silva's
and Gary,
ranked,
the thing is,
ranked
with
now.
Prates and assuming that Prates gets past Gary, let's just assume that he does.
Yeah.
Safe assumption.
Big assumption, but let's just say that I think we'll take the Prates one out of the situation because he's obviously fighting the soonest. I think Cal is, because Cal's at that level now. I do think Barajo's very good, but I think he's at that level now where his next opponent's either gonna be Imavov, who I rate really, really highly. I think the levels that he's jumped up has been insane, and I
He's
see
French, though.
weaknesses in Barajo that Imavov can exploit. And if he gets Hamzat, we know what's gonna happen there.
Hold
I think it's
on.
more to do with
I'm
that.
sorry to. I agree with that. I have to address something. Okay, so first of all, I just saw Tybet said something about me not owning 18-karat jewelry. What the fuck is that about? I have no idea what that is. Also, what the fuck? Yeah, like, Jesus fucking Christ, bro.
So I have another question for both of you guys. So a couple of my good buddies are serious fighting nerd glazers, and I guess I get brainwashed by them. But on the other hand, I do feel like they're all extremely talented and can live up to the hype that's all behind them. What do you see? I guess you guys pronounce it Huffy. What do you see his ceiling being in his division? What do you think he can
I
get
think he's
done?
the weakest. I think he's the weakest out of all of them because that even
He's
though he's
fought.
got
I mean, he's fought. He's had the least fights, though. I mean, you know.
no, I think with him, he's more liable to get, or he's more liable to get hurt. I think he's more liable to get into a gunfight and get chinned, and I think he messes around a little bit too much. We've seen from Gene Silver, like Gene again. It does come down to the matchups and stuff. I think Huffy will get. I reckon his ceiling will be just outside the top 5. Whereas with Cal Baralho's going to be in the top 5. He already is.
He already
I
is.
think Gene
Yeah.
Silva, outside of I think he beats most people at featherweight outside
Yeah.
of the champion. And I think Lopez would be a great fight with him.
Yeah.
I'd love
I
to see him
think.
with Lopez.
I think.
Thing is
I mean,
fucking thing he's running away.
Gio, what do you think about Huffy?
So first of all, I mean, Frankie, like you were saying before that, like, once somebody's in the UFC, like, you don't watch their regional fights. Huffy has the least amount of. I mean, he's only got 2 fights. The rest of them have more, right? I mean, look at the difference between the Lon Top fight and the Bobby Green fight, dude. Like, I mean,
Fucking Bobby Green, though, man. It's Bobby Green.
I mean, Bobby Green
And
still beats Lon
Top is basically a punching bag. Let's be honest.
Yeah, right. So, like, regardless, though, Huffy.
I'm not saying Huffy's not good. But Huffy
what I'm saying is that
a lot.
I'm saying that Huffy's the level of improvement between those 2 fights, bro. Like, I mean, it's pretty undeniable. I mean, now granted, he's a lightweight, and that's one of the hardest divisions. But
Bobby Green.
I mean, okay. I mean, so you give. I mean, you give Huffy beats, like, I guarantee you, Huffy beats a Ludovic Klein, or
All right, so Orange Cat. Just how far do you think he gets?
I could. Well, I'm bringing up the rankings right now. So
that's what I'm thinking of doing now. I'm more thinking who would he beat and who wouldn't he beat.
I mean, looking at number 15, Joel Alvarez, I think he has a really.
Joel Alvarez is going very far.
So like that's a really tough night out for now. I see.
Yep,
so my opinion of Huffy, I love his striking. I love his style. I think he looks like a young Connor. He looked amazing against fucking what's his name, King Green, and then he beat John Yontop. I don't think people brush that off. That dude is tough as hell. Like he's
tough
hard to put away.
Yeah, and also that, I mean, like I was saying before, it's like somebody's first fight in the actual octagon is, it's never, almost never as impressive as like, somebody who's like a really, and then you look at the level of difference between that fight, his performance in that fight, and like how he finished Bobby Green. Like,
See, lightweight's just a fucking tough division.
It's a weird one. 'Cause I think the top 5 is so. For example, with the top 5, you've got the likes of Gaethje, who's aging, Holloway, who's we're not sure how well he'll do at lightweight, really. Poirier's on his way out. Hooker's a bit win-loss kind of thing, like Gamrot is good, but I
Like,
don't know.
if you
I
put
could see
Huffy
Huffy
up
doing
against
well
some
against some of those guys. Sorry,
if
go
you
ahead.
put Huffy
put
up against some of
Huffy-
the older
Like,
legends, like I would feel good about Huffy going up against Dustin, and I love
Same.
Dustin.
How about Huffy versus Dan?
But then you
Hooker?
think
Huffy.
Alvarez, you're like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Oh no, I
Lower
know.
rank.
I think both of them, dude. See, like it'll get to where they fight each other eventually, but like I think Huffy beats Dan Hooker, for example. I mean, I think Joel Alvarez.
I could go with that.
I think Joel Alvarez dog walks Dan Hooker.
I think the people like to say that Huffy would definitively. I think he'd lose to Joel Alvarez just because of the size and the. I think he'd lose to. I think he'd lose to Charles Oliveira, and I think he'd lose to Arman Sarukian, and obviously the champion as well. What do you reckon about Paddy?
Yeah, Paddy, dude.
Sarukian,
Yeah, Paddy Finlay. That's another guy that improves with every fight for sure.
I'm sorry. Keep going if you're.
No, go ahead. No.
Part to my question was going to be, since we all agreed with Barallo most likely going to lose first, who do you see, or like if you don't see any of them with this potential, or if one person from the Fighting Nerds was to win a belt, who do you think it's going to be?
Gene
Silva. I've been saying
I would say probably Gene Silva.
And that Bryce Mitchell performance has just solidified it for me.
I mean, I think Movsar Evloev is like in the featherweight division is like I think he's the best in the division now. Like I don't know, but aside from that, like I could see Gene Silva beating Volkanovski. I could see Gene Silva beating,
I think
I could see him beating Arnold Allen.
Volkanovski will lose the belt by the time Gene Silva gets to him. Or he'll retire by the time he gets to him.
Who's his next? I mean, who's Volkanovski fight next?
Evloev. It's got to be.
It's
got to be Evloev.
Yeah, Evloev's earned it, right? I mean, it's the same. I mean, Evloev beat Diego Lopez. Like, it's like Diego Lopez got to step over him. Like,
I'd like to see Diego Lopez and Gene Silva. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I mean, the Yair Diego Lopez thing.
Yair Rodriguez can fuck off, mate.
Why?
I mean, don't forget he knocked out Brian Ortega in their first fight. Everyone talks about Brian Ortega subbing him. In a second.
The fact that he can come out and say like that he's gonna wait for a title fight with like what?
Yeah, I mean, people fucking say shit.
That's why fuck him. I'm not saying he's not good.
I mean, dude, do you know how much dumb shit?
He should be fighting Diego Lopez. He should have.
Yeah.
That's who.
But what about when
he's like, nah, that can come later on. I should be fighting for the. But no,
bro, you remember when Muhammad Mokaev beat Manel Kape like barely, and like it was a shit fight, and he thought he had the crowd on his side, calling for a title shot. Then he got cut. It's like fuck this motherfucker. Like, I mean, there's been so many worse instances of people. I mean, he's just saying what he's gonna say. I mean, he got killed by Volkanovski, and Volkanovski's in between Islam fights and his last successful title defense. Like,
I mean, it's Volk. I don't shit on anyone. It's not the fact.
No, yeah, but like, I mean, he got killed by Volkanovski, but
it's mad. It's mad.
He also submitted Josh Emmett. He knocked out Brian Ortega in their first fight. Yair did.
And then lost him just as convincingly.
I mean, sure, but I mean,
you beat Pitbull, who nobody outside the organization really. I mean, we know who he is because we watch MMA, but that's a wash.
Yeah, but Pitbull was another one like Chandler and like MVP. They did, Bellator. They're late 30s. They got nowhere to go from Bellator.
Doesn't get you a title shot. You can't beat Pitbull and get a title shot.
No, I don't,
And
dude.
this whole
Of
coming off
course
a
not.
1-fight win streak is crazy, bro. It's
I mean,
not a streak. It's a 1-fight
yeah, but
win. Can't call it
Frankie,
a
bottom line is like realistically, it's never gonna happen. So it's like, I mean, why be
No, but
so
it's
like?
annoying that he's even trying to put it out there. You should be fighting Diego Lopez, you pussy.
He
You had
will do
the
that.
only he had a really good press conference moment with him, which finally got people talking, and then that's the fight. Like you say yes, I'll fight him, and then the winner then that makes sense, and then you're like, no, you do all that shit, all that talking, and then you're like, actually, no, I want to fight for the title. Nah, man, that's stupid. Like, I think you are.
And it's like shut the fuck up and take the contract that's given to you. And I hate saying that because I hate fucking the UFC's business practices. Sometimes I think they fuck over.
No,
a
but
lot
you're
of
right
fighters,
though. When you're in
but,
that position,
mhm.
he's got no reason. He can't. It's not like if he turns around and says, "All right, I'm not fighting for the title, and I'm not fighting unless I fight for the title." They'll be like, "All right, Biden."
Dude,
Like,
yeah, I mean, the bottom line though is like, I mean, they're gonna tell him to fucking eat a dick, and he's gonna fight probably Diego Lopez. I mean, it's not like there's any realistic possibility that he's gonna get.
I mean, you got to shoot your shot, I guess.
Yeah,
Got to put it out there, but it just.
I mean, especially since Volk already beat him, it's like no one fucking cares about a rematch between them. Not now, at least.
Yeah, you can argue that several people deserve a shot before he.
I mean,
does.
Evloev deserves it more than anybody.
Evloev is the clear choice. It's got to be Evloev now.
Yeah.
Anyway, boys, I'm gonna have to wrap it up pretty soon. Is there anything you guys wanna sign off on, because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning here, and this has been a nice. I don't usually do 3-hour streams, so this has been a good. This has been a good one.
Yo, Frankie,
anything you guys want to talk about before we hit the road?
So Orange Cat and I have like a friendly fade, just like $5. I'm taking Marab and he's taking O'Malley.
Dude, hold on. Did you see what just came out today? Sean was seen in crutches.
Oh, the crutches, yeah. Is that real?
I'll still stand by it if it happens, but it's fucked.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, if he's actually injured, dude, they'll move the fight, right?
Wait, who picked Sean? You did.
He did.
Yeah. Not with it was more so like we were having a conversation and I was like advocating for it, and then Gilly was like, "You want to make it friendly?" I would pick like in a serious bet with big money. I would obviously go with Marab, but this is a friendly $5 one.
Yeah. I don't think it's ridiculous. I don't think it's ridiculous. I think there's enough to learn from I mean, I think there's enough we saw from the first fight. There were moments where you can see it was close, and obviously Sean says he's got his injuries and whatnot. You take that with a pinch of salt. They all say that, but
Gilly.
Anyway, Frankie, I was gonna say because of that bet, I was gonna say, yo, you want a $5 on fucking Pratez Gary?
A $5?
Yeah, $5. Yeah, just
I mean,
$5, dude. You're taking Gary, I'm taking Pratez.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, $5 in solidarity.
$5 in solidarity. Yeah, fuck it.
Right.
It's a friendly fade. That's a good one. It's the same exact situation as me taking
fade,
that works. But yeah, to everyone here, just if you're not subscribed to Orange Cat MMA, then please do so immediately. Obviously, if you're not subscribed to Mariano as well, subscribe over there. We've definitely got to do more of these because this has been just chill as fuck. I've enjoyed this.
Yeah, bro. Yo,
my bad. I'm just gonna say I'm going live at 8 o'clock. Gio, I'm not sure if you're going live after this either, but if anyone wants to stop by the stream, even Ty, even if you want to stop by, we can still be friends, bro.
Ty's actually a very chill dude. I like Ty.
No, I know. I'm familiar with Ty.
It's all banter in it at the end of the day.
But yeah, I'm gonna go live at 8. So if anyone wants to stop by, you're more than welcome. And shout out to you guys. I'm gonna log off now just to cool down for a little bit. But shout out to you guys. Appreciate it.
No, thank you for coming on as well. I really appreciate you doing so.
Yeah. Orange Cat, congratulations on getting fucking monetized, bro.
Yeah, congratulations on that as well, man. It must be nice to get something back from it.
Yeah. But all right, guys, I'm out. I'll see you.
Take it easy, bro. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, take it easy, bro.
Yeah, of course we can rate. Who are we rating? We can certainly do that. You know, we'd love to do that.
Wait, are we rating something?
Yeah. Well, I think
wait, who is it?
Somebody here. Hang on a second.
Yo, no, fuck that. Paradox, you fucking go live and we're gonna raid you. God damn it.
Wait, who
God.
is it? Oh, is it? Are we raiding myself? Is that what we're doing?
Wait, who? Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, who are we raiding? Oh, and please subscribe to Andy B as well, of course. A legend in
Yeah,
the game.
subscribe to Andrew. Yo, by the way, Ty, like, dude, I like you, dude. Like, I mean, I don't know what that 18-carat necklace shit was, but like, whatever.
Are
Yeah,
you going
juice and
live
then,
tonight as well? Are you going live tonight as well?
yeah, I mean, I'll bridge the shit between now and Orange Cat stream. If like,
Yeah, fuck
I
it.
mean,
Just follow us.
Paradox should go live though.
I would have stayed on for a lot, but I've got stuff to do in the morning as well, so
Yeah,
I was
word.
happy to hang about, but it had to be.
Bro, I
Needed.
fucking dude, Inter fucking let fucking Bologna fucking 90 minutes plus 4 at a time. Right? It was 0-0. I needed a draw or a win from Inter. Bologna, they gave it up smooth. But like street walking fucking horse. And they owe me a win in fucking UEFA Champions League for that shit. But I was so mad.
You've been doing well on the football betting though in general, so.
Oh yeah, of course. But like, I mean,
I find that harder to bet on, but I think Italian football's a little bit more.
no, I mean all
know.
the European leagues to me are, I mean, actually some of the easiest. But
Equal,
it's like, you know, you get into the rhythm of it's like years of, you know, practice. But anyway, man, you
Yeah,
know,
take it easy, bro. Thanks for stopping by as always, and
yeah, of
thanks
course.
to everyone in the chat. I appreciate obviously having you all here for a Sunday. I hope you had a good time, and I'll probably be back on Tuesday. I imagine we'll sort something out, but yeah, we'll see. And Paradox, if you can, I'm gonna be looking at your live stream before I go to sleep.
Yeah, Paradox, fucking go live, Paradox.
You need to get your shit going as well, bro. All right,
Yeah,
everyone, take it easy. Thanks for stopping by, Giddy. Take it easy, brother.
yeah, man.
Peace, guys.